welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Thanks to those for tuning in on iHeart, TuneIn, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, as well as those watching on YouTube and those listening to the podcast. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with here. Edmund Dhariwal from CBC Edmonton is back in the Hangout.
Proud to be here. Glad to be here.
It's the side part of it, not the front, just to make sure you're aware.
Okay.
Did you want a coffee cup?
Sure.
Looking
You tried stealing the coffee mug.
I've got afterwards I could get you
looking
one.
up here at
That
EST,
was
man.
we've had those for like a year.
We had those a year ago.
This is a quality mug.
Well, that's yours.
Locally made, or
Well,
what?
I've got another one actually. No,
Oh, well, you
locally
you could've
ordered,
just lied.
but they are locally made. I
The
can say
Hive.
that. We got it with the Hive.
Just the look of that mug, I know it's highly coveted.
The Hive Product Marketing official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out at hiveproductmarketing.com. That's how you.
Very nice.
That's slick.
Oh, baby.
They did all of our great stuff, and we're
This
working with
place
them.
is
But
well
yes.
oiled since the last time I've been here. Fake grass
How
out
long?
front.
Yes, we've got that.
Lines painted in the parking lot.
Yeah, we're just looking
is there
forward to
lines
the
in the parking
bathroom
lot
being
now?
cleaned more than once a month.
You get a hot steam cloth when you walk in through the doors. Like
You
that
got
is
that?
wild. Yeah, downstairs. Do you guys?
You went
sure?
through the other door.
Maybe that was the
Was it
massage
clean?
place.
To the toilet.
How was
Yeah.
it clean? Oh no! Oh no!
You went to the banya, did you?
Getting greasy.
We have to do something
This is
next
the West
summer
End.
with the that artificial turf. Like some sort of video has to be done on there.
Yeah.
You guys should get some holes in there. A little putting green. Have a little competition.
Big slope.
We're just gonna go and cut
big
some
slope.
holes.
That seems like a no-brainer.
I'm sure landlords are gonna love that. We just go and just cut these big these circles, put them in.
You want to play the game?
You want to know
play the
something?
game.
Yeah.
Problem. I'm sure Murray at the ranch has a couple of extra like
Hole
hole
cutters.
cups.
Absolutely, he does.
We could put a few
And
of those in there.
It's
Yeah.
not real grass, so even if you do cut a hole and you put it back in, just fill it back in.
Yeah.
No one's the wiser.
Like the people downstairs are gonna love a putting green too.
What kind of business is downstairs in the
We've got property management as well as sauna and spa.
Yeah.
Which has banyas.
Banyas.
They sell saunas and spas? Or
No, you could go like we could go for a sauna after this if you'd like.
Yeah.
You are kidding me.
No joke. And a massage.
What kind of business is that? You just go in and go for a sauna and a spa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Murray goes there.
Synergy Sauna and Spa.
and that's
I
it.
send people that name a lot because I'm like, hey, Google that if you're coming here because
That's
we're
a
not on
great
Google.
idea. Like instead
having-
of having to go to a rec center and just kind of sit in a hot
Spa,
tub with
Russian
50 people.
banya, dry sauna, massage, acupuncture.
Oh, I'm checking that out on the way out.
Do they
So
still hit
Russian
you with
banya.
the palm leaves?
Yeah, is that
That's the Russian banya. It looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could get the Siberian room, which is up to 6 people. We could get the Scandinavian room, which is up to 4 people. So we could, like, the three of us after could take the room for up to 4 people.
All right.
$85
guys
per hour per group of people.
That
So yeah,
sounds like
that's
a
just
pretty good
total
deal.
$85, I would
That's
say.
a great deal.
That sounds like a great deal.
What is that 3 ways?
You guys should have a team bonding
$30
session
each.
in there with all your
Just under.
I think that would be
all you
phenomenal.
guys, yeah, just get
It comes
on-
with detox
Look at
water,
this.
herbal tea.
Morning show co-host is giving you a coffee.
Like a black.
Hey, you know what? That's Liverpool. That's what Liverpool can do.
Yeah, you just have to bring up Liverpool.
Undefeated.
Yeah, how's where? Yeah, Klopp, by the way.
Klopp,
Jurgen Klopp going to Red Bull.
Yeah,
That was a little surprising.
What?
Red Bull gives
Red
you
Bull.
wings.
He's in charge of the global soccer teams of
Yeah.
Red Bull,
Salzburg, New York.
I really don't care about it.
and he ditched
Red Deer. Red
Dort-
Deer's getting a team.
Dortmund fans are all upset
Wow.
because he turned on them.
He's going to be coaching the country, so let's calm down, Dortmund.
Okay.
Like, he's not going back to club ball. Like, the guy's...
No, but he's managing Red Bull and not like ditched Dortmund.
Globally,
I
though.
know
Yeah.
online
Yeah.
there's a lot of Dortmund fans that are upset.
Yeah, well.
So,
They're
but yeah,
a little bit sensitive.
Synergy Sauna and Spa if you want to check it out.
That is wild.
We should get
so,
like
so
a-
when you walk in, it's to the right?
To the left.
To the left. Okay, yeah. Because
To the right, to the wall.
There's a wall, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to walk in there. It's early in the morning.
Or it's under the stairs.
there, yeah.
So you go to the left, it's in there. I've never actually been there, but maybe we should get a sponsorship package.
How
with
are
them
you
where we,
guys
like,
not
give
getting
them-
a sponsorship from them so that you can just pop in there after
Well, that'd be a
long
great,
day?
like, well, that or like, hey, thanks for coming in the Hangout. Here, have a massage.
Medically, saunas are supposed to be great for your pipes. Like,
Really?
Yeah. It's
Circulation-wise, stuff
circulation
like that.
wise, and just if
I like
you
that.
want to avoid hardening of the old arteries, that's what I've been told. a family member who's a merge doc was saying, yeah, sauna, just
Cool.
go 3 times a week.
I love steam rooms. Is that different?
Steam rooms, I think a little different, but same kind of idea, right?
Yeah,
It's gonna
yeah.
sweat you out. a
Oh,
bit
I
and-
sweat it out.
Yeah. Start now, boys.
I've only had 2 massages in my life, and they were very
had one.
nice. But I feel like I should
Locally
go more.
or in Montreal?
No, locally.
Oh.
Legit ones, all of that. Like,
legit,
straight
yeah.
up.
Yeah, massages
Deep
are,
tissue.
I had a good one.
Yeah, you guys probably have
August.
sick benefits at EST. So
Yeah, that's a work
I don't
in
even know what's
progress.
going on here.
Hey, good morning.
Why do we have a big hat?
The 780.
780.
Oh, is it from 780?
Look at that.
Try it on.
I'm not trying it
Matty,
on, but
that would barely fit you.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty.
oh, it's one of those. I've never actually seen one of the big
It's got
hats
the
in person.
Coliseum on it.
Let's see what it looks like. Come on. That's a great,
Hometown
That's
hockey.
a great lid.
That
Oh, that is so cool.
That is really nice.
I've actually never seen the big hat in person stuff.
Who
Like,
came up with the big hat? I saw some
don't
in
know.
Florida last 14
It's a thing.
weeks ago.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's got an orange brim, orange button.
You don't erect the
navy
hair?
back.
yeah, I don't want to do that.
Mint put it on.
Let's see.
gonna
Yeah,
wreck
you're
your
the
hair.
one that should put it on. Is it gonna fit or is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Snug like a bug.
Yeah, you look like
what's
Toad from Super Mario
Call
Bros.
me Brain Darwal or what?
Brain Dhariwal.
That's actually pretty sweet.
It's actually
It
nice.
is. It is.
You know
nice.
what? This
Good brim.
Mike, you know who'd like this? Mike Smith, because the flat brim. Look at this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he was good
Oh
with the flat brim.
yes.
You know how sick this would look if you like ride into a skate park wearing this thing and just kind of rolling around,
It's like a helmet.
doing some ollies and stuff.
Yeah.
This is actually pretty comfy too.
Well, it has a very nice little like foam on the inside.
Yeah.
It looks like to fit the head.
Yeah.
So you guys got that done
So-
from the sponsor?
No,
Oh,
that's
780 just brought it in. I think
780.com. They're a sponsor
Yeah.
of, they're the presenting sponsor of our EST flyaway to Los Angeles. We're giving away a trip to LA.
Nice.
Keyword coming up later in the show. And yeah, just they have stores where they have local vendors.
Oh,
and they
in the mall, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then on top of that, they also have their own brand, which is also called the 780. And I'm assuming this is part of the brand, the 780.
I think they have a store in Southgate, don't they? They have the
Southgate?
Oilers gear
Kingsway?
and stuff. Yeah.
I have right
You
here.
have
Look
it
at
right
that. Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall.
Okay.
By the
I'm-
airport. So
I'm going to
also
go in there.
online 780.com, the word 780.com.
What's the
Boom.
promo code? I need to. You can tell me later. I need to know what the promo code is because I'm not paying retail. But that's
Those hats are pretty cool.
Hey, that's a great. Hey, that's it. Dusty, you got to wear that and show the
I'm wearing
people.
it tomorrow on the show.
Holy, that's almost the same size.
You gotta
as a
tip
normal
it up
hat.
a little bit, I
Yeah, you
think.
got to tip it up a little.
You're not even close to the
you gotta
camera. There
squat.
you go.
There we go.
There we go. We got you in.
Nice
A
button.
nice
very
Tecmo
cool.
Bowl
Yeah,
shirt.
yeah.
It's
Where-
not
yeah.
Super Bowl, but
Where
it's
did you get
close.
that?
Nice. This?
Yeah,
Like on
Online?
those Red Bubbles or
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Red Bubble, or it comes up on my Instagram.
that's a throwback if I've ever seen
Yeah,
it.
it's brand new.
Yeah.
Just got it.
Well done.
I know
Again,
you're gonna say I'm the champion.
well, no, I'm not
That's
I'm not champion of Tecmo Bowl. I'm the champion of
But it's
Tecmo
nice.
Super
It's
Bowl.
like for the brand, right?
Yeah,
That-
but I
that-
am the champ.
That hat you're wearing is 4 times as big as your normal hat.
Yeah, it's huge. Right?
That's pretty cool.
That's nice. I like it.
There you go.
Okay then.
What's happening right now?
It's a very busy place.
We have. We're not saying who it
Surprisingly.
is, but we had a mystery person sitting watching the morning
That is
show.
correct.
Because he'll be doing a little bit of fill-in work on the morning show.
All
I
right.
think I know who it is, and
Yeah.
that is wild.
So we got that. We got her. Travis is recording the next episode of
Jeremy.
Hockey Edmonton show.
Yep.
I think it's episode 6.
Yep.
Coming up.
Dean's here.
Yeah, Belanger's here.
Yeah, Dean Belanger
I
is
don't know
here.
what's going on.
You guys need a full-time receptionist, but like
We've had offers.
really.
Yeah.
From listeners.
Yeah.
Some listeners have been like, "Hey, we'll do reception."
Oh, just even the
We've got a reception desk for some reason.
Even the
Zach sits there
Even the
sometimes.
interview process would be fun, like to get someone in here.
Actually, I have an interview today for Practicum.
Oh, is that right?
That's
What's
excellent.
that like? Interviewing people to come in, like from Nate?
Well, we've
Yeah.
got Zach now.
Yeah.
That's
you
how
guys
that
have that.
happened. Yeah.
That's simple. You ask, what are your career goals? What do you want?
Yeah.
And then you have just very, what do you do at
Yeah.
it? And
How long is
what
the pro-
sports do you love?
How long is the probation here? Is there?
Actually, I don't even think that's in the handbook.
I don't know. It
think-
might be a
gotta- you
handbook.
gotta-
I
We
gotta
have a
look. I gotta
handbook
look a
now.
little closer at that. Actually,
Yeah.
do we have a
Insert that
probation?
into the workbook. You
Well,
gotta
if
have
we
a
if we
probation.
have for probation, Reed's not in through probation yet.
That's right.
Reed he hasn't gotten through
Well,
probation.
usually
2 months
probation
in.
is 3
Yeah.
months. Is it
Yeah.
2 or 3?
It's 3 months, but Reed's 2 months
Yeah.
in.
I would probably extend it for that guy. Yeah, Wilkie's kind of a wild
Just-
card.
Yeah, he is.
Like-
Like,
learned
look,
that.
look what he did to his last employer. So you don't want to be.
They had to change the name.
Where are they?
Reed
now?
leaves, and they're
I-
like, "We can't even continue with this. We got to go to something else."
I dialed into 6:30. I can't believe they shut her down after Reed left. That's wild.
I know, just gone.
Yeah, that's too bad. They had a good run.
They knew they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's the same with 1260. They couldn't continue without us, so they just had to power it down.
I tried listening to them on their new dial. But
880?
in the West End. It is.
880.
What?
Yeah, It's crackly at best.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, man.
On the West End for $8.80.
that's not
I
good.
know. I know they've tried selling it as like it's a better reception. It's just naturally not based on radio. 630 was powerful.
Yeah.
It should still be pretty strong though. 880, I would have
it's a
thought.
little
But
crackly. Yeah,
I know
my
if
car's
you're
old.
outside of Edmonton, it's not going to have the
Yeah.
reach like 630 would
But
have
you
had.
know
at
what?
the time.
They're trying to get people on the app, which is where everybody is. So
Funny that.
that's smart.
I don't
Yeah.
know, who radio stations wanting to be on TuneIn or iHeart.
Is that what you guys do?
Wonder who else is on
Oh.
TuneIn and iHeart.
Visionary.
I've never seen you do that.
Did he do that?
He did
I don't
the.
Yeah.
Like, his own spin off of Dr. Evil.
Yeah,
That was brilliant.
Interesting.
Funny that.
Interesting.
That's wild.
Epstein's mother says.
That's a
Epstein.
great reference.
Oh yeah, I should have gone with Epstein. No, it's Epstein's mother. It's famous emailer in town to a
Alias,
local
yeah.
sports show.
Yeah.
Oh, Epstein's mother.
Hey, speaking of
Or is it Epstein's
famous,
yeah,
like,
it's Epstein's mother.
guests,
Epstein's
callers, texters. I
can't remember.
Epstein's mother. It was Epstein's mother.
Yeah, but is that the one? Is that the name that was used for the so-called emails?
That's correct.
Was it?
Yes.
Is that what he used?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, but I saw Daily Doug last week. Very good to see
Did you?
him. I love Daily Doug. He's a good,
I don't
really
think
good
I've ever
guy.
met Daily Doug.
I think he's fantastic, honestly.
Was he like a long-time caller?
He would get into it, yeah.
60?
I could say
Any of Bob's shows.
any
Yeah.
of Bob's.
Yeah, he's a
Stoffer shows.
Yes.
Stoffer
Yeah,
shows,
yeah.
I worked one
That's
year
where I
with
thought I heard
Bob.
Daily
If we
Doug.
did open line time and we are going to take calls and no one was calling,
Yeah.
Bob would text Daily Doug. Doug would because the phone would ring and I'd be like, hey, it's 1260. And he'd be like, yeah, Bob told me to call. I'm like, okay, I'll put you on hold. Daily Doug goes on the air. Daily Doug speaks. People get all fired up. And then the
But-
phone lines just light up.
Yeah, Daily Doug's great because he's a smart guy. Let's start with that. Knows
Yeah,
his
he knows
stuff.
his stuff.
He knows
Yeah.
his stuff, and
Yeah.
he knows how to stir it up. Like Doug, when you talk with him, he's absolutely fantastic, and like you don't. He's great at the art of conversation, and he enjoys like sparring back and forth. So he's perfect, and Stoff, that's how you do it as a longtime radio show host. And you need
Wow, you hook
need
into
that.
those guys, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna, and then they call you back or text you all the time. And he has a couple of guys that always. Isn't there some guy called the Grinder or something like that? Or there's a couple of guys that have some really good handles too. I forget.
I don't remember the grinder.
We've got Sticky
Maybe
Dave
not the
for
grinder.
tough situations.
Sticky Dave.
Sticky Dave.
Okay. I don't know what's behind that nickname, but that's a good one.
I don't
Sticky
know.
Dave.
Wait, I haven't
Probably not a
done
good nickname
calls
to
in
have
so
in junior
long.
high, but yeah. Sorry.
We had a Big Al, who was a Bruins fan that would call in.
Big L.
But he was one of the few people that knew how to game, or not game, but the secrets to the contest at 1260.
Oh, he had the in.
Well, we had 4 phone lines.
good coffee
We had
there,
3
buddy.
phone lines. That's all Lieutenant Eric, the brewmaster over there. We had 3 phone lines connected to the one number, 780-444-1216. Before that, 426 team, I believe it was.
Okay.
But it would go through 3 numbers. So if you called the one, it would have a rotator or whatever and go to those 3.
Okay.
But we also had a toll-free line.
Oh,
100
right. That was
I remember
the
1-800-243-1945, I think it was.
laser burn.
But if you have to go through like, hey, we got to get to caller 10,
Yeah.
we would just go through the order of the list. But less people are calling the 1-800 toll-free line,
Sure.
so you could get through a lot easier than if you're calling the top 3.
That sounds like
He was one of those few that would get through.
Sounds like a
through that
hack
one.
to me,
It
if
was.
I've
It was a
ever
great
Inside
hack.
job. Inside job.
Like we wouldn't tell anyone, but it was like you could call us on either those numbers.
That sounds like something
But we
Eric
go
would
with
have
it.
let slip in a call to a listener, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
said listener just uses that all the time.
Because you Liverpool supporters don't know what you're doing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we know what we're doing. We're on top of the table. That's what we're doing.
Are you guys?
It's early. Yeah,
Lost your man.
7-0. Yeah,
For a
it's
few
okay,
months.
but our backup could probably play with half the teams in the league and start.
We
let's calm down.
we will get
You're
to the
a Man
Oilers.
United
You lost
fan?
me.
You're a Man United fan?
Yeah,
You lost
it's-
I'm surprised you're even saying anything.
I'm still fine with it.
What do you guys have? 1 win on the season? 2?
2.
Ten
I
Hag's
think.
got to go. But
You know,
guys wanna hold on
it's,
to
I
him?
just saw today. It's going to cost them $14 million.
Yeah, so
to
the
gun
money
him.
is endless in the Premiership. Like,
I know. It's,
cut bait, man. Cut bait. Come on.
I was in favor of him coming back this year. I was okay waiting till this international window. I wanted to see what would happen by this international window.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, if they move on from, I don't care.
You guys
Like,
have some weapons, and
there's-
you just can't put them in the net,
No.
right? So
no.
it's tough. But you guys had a phenomenal, historical, amazing runs back in the day. So
Yeah,
this
but you
is-
know how
this
long
is
it's
the
been
other-
since then?
Well, yeah, that's what happens.
Ferguson left
Look
in
at the
13.
oil, 80s.
Yeah, Ferguson left in 13.
Yeah, it's only like 10 years is yeah, that's
We're coming up
not
on
bad.
12 years.
Yeah,
Once this
that's
season's
true.
over, it's
That's
12
true.
years.
12 years, yeah.
Then they just can't
12
figure it
years.
out. And well, I shouldn't speak to you with Liverpool because there was the run before Klopp.
Long
of
drought.
How long you guys had.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about that. But I do remember watching Man United win the treble, and I was in England at that time. And there's
99.
there's a place called in Southall, which is near where I grew up there. And there's a place called it used to be called the British Airways Club.
Okay.
And it would be for employees of British Airways. And many people who live near the airport obviously work at Heathrow. A lot of them work at British Airways. And so my wife's cousin, he worked there, and my uncle worked there. And actually, my wife's cousin still works there. And so after work, guys would go there for a pint, watch the game. There's a cricket club. There's a golf course attached to it. It was actually really nice. And so it was 1996, I think.
99.
Was it 99 when they won treble? Yeah.
98, 99.
So it was on a big screen. The place was full, obviously predominantly Man United fans. But yeah, that was a historic moment.
It's the only treble in English history.
Isn't that crazy?
City did it, but they have all those charges.
They have, yeah.
They just did it, so I'm not going to.
There's an asterisk.
100%.
beside them. Yeah.
Wait till they get fully found out.
Penalized.
We could get to the soccer
Cheaters.
a little bit later. It's not even 115 charges.
Continue on, please.
150 charges. Well, we should probably now just quickly get to the Oilers for a little bit here.
Why?
I
What
guess.
happened?
It's early.
Hangout headlines brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club, offering premier conditions, top-notch service,
What happened?
unmatched value. Check them out. Book your tee time, theranchgolf.com. A week and a half left of their season, October 20th.
It's going to be 25 on Sunday.
I know.
What?
26
Yes.
on Monday.
Oh,
like,
my.
I'm going to try and get out there on Sunday.
Let's go.
It's if we look right now, 14 tomorrow, 17 Saturday, 25, 25, and then still Tuesday, Wednesday right now, 14, 10. Like perfect fall weather.
Like, come on.
Keep this going.
Honestly, if you move to Edmonton from other parts of the country and, you heard about the minus 40s in the winter, yeah, it gets nasty. But I mean, where else can you experience a fall like this? We're going to get 2 months of fall, like full on,
Like a normal
fall
place?
weather, like a
It
normal
was
place.
like last year or something. It was like 20 degrees, and the
We
next
get
day
four
like
seasons
minus.
now. We literally get 4 seasons.
right.
Like, where else do you get 4 seasons? Maybe,
Well, you could argue we maybe
Everywhere else.
everywhere else.
Normal
You
places.
don't get it in Mexico.
Yeah, you get 2.
Yeah.
Summer and
I heard Vancouver's nice right now.
Spring.
I heard the temperature
Spring,
there is
yeah.
like 20 something.
Where?
Vancouver's nice and sunny. Usually they're into rain season, right?
Is it? I don't know anything about what's going on in Vancouver. Although they do have the Grey Cup coming up in a little bit here.
yeah.
That's the only cup they really have.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like their chances.
But they've got
for the Lions
mountains and
stuff.
water and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, they got a lot of things to go do other things with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give them that.
Oilers. Do you guys panicky? Trade the team? Blow it up? Trade
Well,
McDavid?
I just want to say this
Bowman's
to kick
on
it
it.
off. Yeah, sure. I think all of us witnessed them play a 69 game season and come within 1 game of winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
So, although I'm enjoying this tire fire that is
It was 7.
the fallout.
You know, this
Yeah.
defense, Tommy. And
Oh, the defense was terrible
You know,
last
it's-
night. Goaltending was bad. Forwards were indifferent.
I equated to a bad breakup.
Oh,
You go through the bad breakup. There's tears. There's a lot of F-bombs, which we saw recently on Amazon. And so you're never really going to get over it. So, it happened 14 weeks ago. Game 7 happened 14 weeks ago. It's still,
oh my God, that's incredible.
it's still fresh. It's still fresh in their psyche. And there's been a lot of changes. I mean, it's, we're not good at first either, right? We're not good at first games. We're not good at first
This team's
games
not-
of a 6-7 game series. We're not good at that.
They're not good also with being favorites.
yeah, they're terrible at it.
Like you think, like last year, even in the Cup final, they had to be down 3-0 to force the Game 7. Like
That was
that's how their whole
crazy.
season was, though, the entire time. This team, historically, like we could go to a number of years ago, like what was it? The year after 16-17, so 17-18 season, they were picked to be Cup contenders and bottomed out. Like
Yeah, they had a terrible
this
year.
team does not live up to those expectations right off the bat. So naturally, they need to get their backs up against the wall before they get going.
I hate that.
And your mouth can say one thing, but your body is doing another. Like I think it's still fresh. Losing. It's always going to be fresh. I was just telling Tommy outside, like if you talk to any of the guys who were at the Game 7 in 2006,
Which you were.
yeah, which I was there. I think Conley was there. Johnny
no, that was
Sexsmith,
before my time.
Bobby
Conley.
Oh, Connolly. I thought you said me.
Stauffer was there. I mean, all the paper guys were there. And it's
When media
just
was
a
robust.
thing. It's just a thing you will never forget, right? And so, win or lose, Mark Conley, my colleague, hosts the morning show at Edmonton AM. He said, "I'm
CBC
going
Radio.
into the Oilers. I'm going into the Oilers room. You go. You obviously you're going to go into the Carolina room." I said, "Yeah, obviously. You got seniority, no problem. Win or lose, I'm going." He said, "I'm going to the Oilers room." I'm like, "Okay, go ahead." So Carolina wins, and I look at the camera guy. I'm like, "This is going to hurt. Like this is going to be painful." And so we walk downstairs. We're all herded outside the room. They're waiting for the door to open, and so they're like, "Okay, have at her." We walk in there. First thing I see, the first image I see, which I just can never forget this image, and it's Roddy Brind'Amour wearing like a tea towel, and he's got the cup over his head, and he's hoisting it, and the place, it looks like a nightclub. It's just packed full of people.
Yeah.
Family, wives, kids, grandparents, parents are sitting in the stalls, and then there's all these other people in the middle of the room. There's champagne flowing, and it's just like nuts in there. And there's Brind'Amour like shaking the cup, and I'm like, this is gonna be tough. Like, how are we gonna get through this, right? But I, from what I understand, the Oilers room was even like tougher, right? There was lots of tears. There's pretty similar to what the Oilers were like in Florida. But that was in 06. And so ask those guys how long it took for them to get over it, and they didn't, and they don't.
I don't think you ever.
don't-
You only
don't
get
ever-
over it when you win.
When you win,
If
yeah.
you win, you could look back and be like,
Because
"That
you
was
were this
helped us.
close, right?
That helped us
So-
get to this win."
So these guys, it's going to take them a little bit of time. Hopefully not, 2-7-1, but they'll figure it out.
The schedule's soft coming up here,
And we've got some different
Yeah,
players
maybe I
on
shouldn't
this
say
team.
that.
Like,
Well,
they looked slow last night.
Okay, Mo in the nasty chat. He brings up a pretty decent point, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Two things are true. No panic, of course. However, I believe there was too much turnover to the roster.
Yeah.
And there could be a case for that where then it's, okay, how long is it going to take to get this team to gel with all these new players?
Good question. Figure it out. If
Yeah.
you're on it,
Yeah.
just get
100%.
it. Get your ass in gear.
Yeah, look at your check and figure it out. That's
Yeah.
what you get paid for.
Yeah.
And I agree with Mo 100%. I even during the offseason, I was thinking, okay, well, that's a couple of 3-4 players up front. Oh, that's like 2-3 players on the back. It's going to take those new guys some time to find some chemistry and all that. And I think you got rid of a lot of youth. And you look at that team last night, they look slow. They didn't look like,
They are the oldest team in the NHL.
Yeah.
One guy looked fast. He always is fast. But everybody else, like, even not to knock on Nuge, but he just looked like he just was one step behind. And so I think, you lose guys like McLeod and Fogle and, those guys are speedster. Holloway, Holloway was,
Yeah.
he's
got
breath
speed.
of fresh air, right? And it's too bad.
Shaking off the rust still,
He's
too.
gone.
I think that's part of this for this
Yeah,
team.
you had 8 games to do that. You had,
But they didn't
training
all
camps to do
play.
that.
And, like,
That's true.
I also still, I think when you're the Oilers, for some of those players, you're kind of going out there when you are a Nuge, when you
Yeah.
are those top players.
Yeah.
You're not still giving it your all in preseason. Like, I will look at, Holloway and Broberg, each with points. Broberg
Yeah.
goal, Holloway with the assist, in the first game of the Blues. But they went to camp,
Terrible goal, by the way.
ready to get going and stuff. And, they needed to, that team's not well, whatever, we're going to be in the cup type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Oilers here, it's like, okay, let's get through preseason. No injuries. And then it's almost like now shake the rust off. And how long is that going to take? Good thing it's Chicago, Calgary, Philly coming up
Yeah.
here. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
panic. That's not Murderer's Row coming up here.
No.
No, but
That's
in
a
the
tickle
NHL,
fight.
any night can be Murderer's Row. That's
100%.
the crazy part. And
Especially at the start of a season,
Yeah.
when those teams, we always see those teams that just get off to that hot start and then the wheels fall
Yeah.
off because they're just not that good. That would be the only fear I would have. But
And who did Chicago just play?
Oh,
where
and
Maroon
Calgary
almost
just
Utah.
won? Yeah, Utah. They got
I don't
kind
know
of
what Pat was getting mad at. I think it was Liam O'Brien.
Yeah, somebody didn't want to go, and he was calling.
Pat said, "Meet me in the hallway back there."
He was
I
calling
love
them
Pat.
a pussycat.
Oh, yes.
And then he wanted to
Classic.
fight him in the parking lot. That's awesome.
more beers sold at that first Utah game than any Jazz game ever.
Seriously?
most booze, right? 120
That's fat.
grand. I saw that.
With 11,000 in the seats.
And they did a chug cam or something.
Isn't
in
it a
That's
dry
great.
city though? Like
No,
they're
no,
not
no,
full-
it's
Well,
just-
that was, I think, their way of showing we're not dry.
Yeah,
They're not
it's
dry.
harder. Have you spent time there?
I have not.
It looked beautiful on the ESPN broadcast.
Yeah.
When they had
Picturesque.
It's in the mountains.
Levy, I think it was.
Yeah, it's in the
with
Rockies.
Messier and PK.
Okay.
We're looking at here, and they just had the mountains in the back.
Yeah.
That looks wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get past
pretty
Salt Lake City and you get into southern Utah, you get to the Red Rocks, St. George, and then before you get to Arizona/Nevada.
Right. You've probably done that drive, right?
Many times, golf trips. I love that drive, I-15. And Salt Lake, like when you're driving by it, like you've got the lake on the one side on the I-15, and then just absolutely inducing traffic because the drivers there are nuts.
I've heard it's not good.
Oh, they're terrible drivers. And then on the left side, you look and you're like, look at this nice city, but with the mountain backdrop. But then you try, like we would stay there overnight.
Okay.
Cut the 27-hour drive in half, basically.
Yeah.
And it was hard.
27-hour drive.
Yeah, from Edmonton to Phoenix.
That's a long
And
drive.
How long does that take? Two or three?
2 days.
How long would it take you?
We would do it in 2 days.
Yeah.
We did it one time straight through where everybody was taking shifts. Never again. And then the next year we hit a deer in southern Idaho, in Deer Alley of all places.
The car?
Yes, it was a rental.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was.
The logistics involved in that.
Well, it was fun. We were 1 mile south of the Utah border. The Idaho State Trooper was fantastic to deal with. He had dealt with a lot of vehicles that had been totaled by deer in Deer Alley.
They do get totaled.
And we were with Enterprise, and we're like, well, there's an Enterprise 20 miles in to Utah and Logan. And he's like, yep, I can't take you over state lines, though. So you're going to have to stay in Idaho for the night and figure it out from there. And so we had to get a tow, stay in a rink-a-dink motel in Malad City. Wow. And then the next day, my brother and my dad were kind of combative at that time, and my uncle and I were like
getting blamed for hitting a deer.
Well, no, they were not in a good spot, and my uncle and I were like, oh, you guys should go together, and they became fast friends after that. And we problem solved, but it is beautiful, like it is picturesque, but it is hard to get a beer. Like if you go to a restaurant, and I bring up the times I've gone to like a Chili's there.
But it's like a lot of dry places. Like if you look for it, you can get it. Like you go to Dubai, and it was at one time supposed to be dry, but come on.
Yeah.
You just ask one guy, he takes you down an alley, and then behind the curtain, you got some Jack Daniels or whatever you want.
Yeah, except that one time you go and you just lost the kid, you just lose a kidney.
No. Yeah, I'm missing a finger, but I got a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Place, man. They can have bad publicity.
I will say one thing with the 22 World Cup I've heard in Qatar, there was alcohol, but not in the stadiums.
Yeah.
And I heard it's actually one of the best World Cups because there were no, like, I think DVD was the one talking.
DVD was there, yeah.
No, like, English fans were on their best behavior because they couldn't get that hammered.
Yeah. They must have been under some sort of sedatives or something.
They did find some. DVD did say they found a lot of fun, and there are a few.
That's cool.
Nightclubs. I don't know if there are any Irish pubs named Rutger McGroarty's, but I'd go there for sure.
I was over in England in August, and we went to Brentford. The Brentford Bees, which is near, it's kind of our local there. So we went to the opening day match, and it was against Crystal Palace. And I had always heard that Crystal Palace fans are rabid, like maybe top 3 in the Premiership. And we were a section away from them. They were wild. They were so loud, and they were taunting Brentford fans, calling the place a library, and calling the ref an idiot. It was something else. But,
over the line in the best way.
Yeah, in the best way. Like they're just very vocal, trying to be, the extra man. But if you ever get a chance to go watch a game, that stadium, Brentford Stadium, is so nice.
Oh yeah,
18,000 seats, not a bad
nice and
seat.
cozy.
Not a bad seat in the house. So you basically have 2 tiers, and it's not super high, and every seat is like a great seat. So if you ever are over there and you want to watch your team and they're visiting Brentford, get in there. Yeah.
Very
good to know.
I was
good
just
food
go watch
and really close. Yeah.
Eggs via the Paris Jewelers inbox says, boys, I drove through Utah to get to Arizona, and it was one of my favorite road trips in America. Absolutely beautiful there. It is scenic.
I'm going to have to do one of those.
It's gorgeous.
That sounds like it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're in a rental, you can just bag it and you're good to go.
Just don't hit a deer.
My buddy just hit 3 deer recently. In his Toyota, is it a Highlander? Toyota 4Runner maybe?
The deer probably still won that battle.
3 deer, yeah. So he came over. He works like on the rigs, and Manny Dimes is his name, and he came over a hill, and I guess he saw the deer coming, and he thought they were going to run across and they'd be okay, and they just stopped right in his lane.
No.
And bang, he just smoked them. Airbags all gone, and so it was a write-off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think you can. Once the airbags go off, it's pretty much a done deal.
Ryan's dad hit a deer once in his truck. It went through the truck. So it went through the back window.
That is nuts.
Missed him because it went through more of the passenger side.
What did he ducked or what?
What did he tell me here?
Look at that picture. Like both windows are smashed.
Yeah, it just came right through the back window and the front window.
Incredibly
Missed him.
lucky.
The deer got up and just ran off.
No.
Yeah.
Internal bleeding.
Knock on wood. I've never hit a deer, but I was driving back from Vancouver once, and it was on the Yellowhead, and it was nighttime, I think, near Hinton. And, you're just powering through now. You're trying to get home.
Yeah.
And just on the yellow line, like, inside lane to the ditch, I'm flying, and all of a sudden, just in the headlights, you just see this deer standing there like this on the side. And it was so quick, I didn't even have to move. It just stood there, thank God. But if I would have hit that at 140 or whatever it was.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, lights out.
Yeah.
Like that would have been through the windshield, 100%. Yeah. Alberta, driving on the highways, not.
No, but Utah is beautiful.
Utah is beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
the
they
drive.
have to do something about
They got a hockey team.
They have to do something
They're
about the
winning
name.
team.
No,
The jersey.
Utah hockey
Team
club.
is awful.
Change the
The
jersey.
team name
Keep it
is
hockey.
awful.
Utah hockey.
Awful.
I love
Awful.
What kind of name do you think they're going to come up with?
it. Yeah.
Well,
They have to hit
They'll
it
be
out of
the
the
Yetis.
park. The Yetis?
Yeah.
that's what Clayton Keller was saying. He kind of
Utah
dropped it 2 weeks ago.
I mean, yeah, I think that would be. Yeah. That'd be
did
pretty
you
cool.
see the logo?
Just
I
have a
showed you
marketing deal with Yeti.
They have the one logo. Man, like their logo is a circle that says Utah in the middle, and then hockey club.
Yeah.
And then their
It's the
secondary
placeholder
logo.
logo.
Yes, thank God.
is the
And then the
placeholder.
secondary logo
Well
is the
said.
state outline, which is basically a square with a notch in it
Yeah.
that says Utah HC. And they wear it on their helmets. It is awful.
Yeah.
The jerseys suck. The colors are nice.
Yeah.
But people, they knocked it out of the park with those uniforms and that logo and the name. No,
The name's great.
they
I stand by it.
It's good. And how about Dylan Gunther? Stud.
that was
local.
great. That was
E-Town.
fantastic. Yes,
E-Town boy.
couple of goals.
He's got some brown in him. His grandfather's Indian. So
Nice.
Let's
Oh,
go.
really?
Let's go.
Unaware of that.
We're coming.
Okay. Hey, I saw speaking of that, I saw Jujar in the summer.
Where?
Yeah, in Idaho.
Wow, of all places, Idaho.
Yeah, he was there for a friend of his wedding, and
Where's he now?
I was about to say, when
he
was the last
signed in
time
the
you played?
AHL. Yeah, Juge signed. He was looking good, and it was great to see him. And yeah, we caught up.
Syracuse.
Yeah, he's in
Crunch.
Syracuse.
So whose farm team is that? Syracuse?
Columbus, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or it was Columbus for a bit. Who is
Yeah,
it
man.
now?
He's Trailblazer.
Currently the
Some
Lightning.
things.
Lightning. Okay. that makes
Lightning.
Currently the Lightning.
Oh, that'd be a tough team to crack.
They-
Maybe he can be a role guy. Bottom six.
I think he's on an AHL
He's only
deal.
30.
Yeah, he's young, man.
2012 draft in Pittsburgh.
That's right, Pittsburgh. Yeah, I remember being there.
Yeah.
You were there. Yeah.
Oh, I was there.
Pittsburgh. That was a fun draft.
That was a fun draft.
Nail Yakupov.
Yep. I remember he
Ryan
went.
Murray, Nail Yakupov, and wasn't it Dan? Dan was running around. It's gonna be Murray. It's gonna be Murray. And then
Yeah.
it was Nail Yakupov.
Because Daryl Cates overruled
yeah, I
his
think he
scouts.
overruled
I was at that scouts
Which-
dinner.
It's
Oh,
also
weird.
like, yeah, they weren't wrong.
I mean, Nail probably would have been great in the right situation. I mean, it was,
It's also
decade
just one of those
darkness.
you look at. It wasn't a great draft year.
No,
Just
we
overall,
were just
it
getting,
wasn't as talented of a class.
Yeah,
as
there's
some
no
other
structure
classes.
to the teams. It was crazy. But that draft was so much fun. If you've ever been to South Shore in
Pitt?
it's like White Ave on Juice.
Oh.
and 30 blocks long.
South Shore, Carson Street. Yeah.
Like all the restaurants and bars,
it's
like on
wild.
both sides.
It is wild.
It's
really is.
Yeah, you got to put that on the list. Like if you're traveling and watch Oilers, go watch the game at Pitt.
Yeah,
You'll have
baseball
a
game
blast.
there. Fantastic.
And book 2 days afterwards because you'll need it to recover.
Carson Street.
Yeah,
It is.
and it's called South Shore though.
That's where it is.
That's
Yeah.
that's the actual name of the
And
street.
it is honestly like if you took. Your description was perfect. If
Yeah.
you took White Avenue and you put it on mega steroids,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
I was there with Pete Evans, a shooter at
Great
CBC, and he's from good old Newfoundland, and then Patrick Henry.
Pat Henry?
CBC French, Pat Henry. And the three of us, we went and saw, I think it was a Pirates game. Beautiful stadium.
Yes,
right?
great backdrop.
See the downtown. And yeah, we did some things. Ate some
Still
pizza.
regarded as one of the top stadiums in
It is
baseball.
gorgeous.
Like, and how long's that been open?
And then,
20 years?
And then
That's
across the
still
river
talked about it.
is Riverfront.
Yep.
the football stadium?
Yeah, they're very
Or is it
close.
very close?
They're not.
Separated by the rivers.
Yeah.
And then the hockey barn is
Into the downtown area.
just across from where the old igloo used to be.
Correct.
PNC Park 01.
Yeah.
It opened.
It is fantastic.
and it's
Yeah.
still just regarding. And yeah, like even just
Beautiful.
Wikipedia, when you look at
That's
this
probably
picture.
like top 5,
Ballpark?
like cities for sports.
Oh, city. Yeah, and
in terms of like success or just overall teams or like fan base?
Just the setup and the passion. I mean,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh fans are
They're
blue
good.
collar as it gets, and they support them. Yeah.
know their hockey. They
Yeah.
obviously great football tradition there.
Them and the Packers are the top two
Yeah.
Yeah.
fan bases.
Like if you're
Travel.
going to go watch you want to watch multiple sports, they're all right there. You
Yep.
could probably walk to each barn, right? And I would say Denver's probably pretty good too.
Denver's good.
Their barns are all pretty close.
Denver's it's like Philly, like all three are in
Yeah.
the same sort of area, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pittsburgh, Jack, because he grew up close to there.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah, he said that Pitt was a pretty rough town for a little bit, but
bet.
it went through like
I
an
could see how
overhaul.
it would be, yeah.
Yeah, and they had to kind of realize like, hey, we better clean.
Well, it was Steel
clean that.
Town,
Yeah.
right? Steel Town
Yeah,
for the longest
still works
time.
and all that.
And then now I think they've got a lot of tech. And
Yeah,
all-
they
all
literally
sorts of
had to like sandblast like the smut. Or the soot. Sorry, not smut. Maybe some smut
yeah.
off the walls.
That's just a snapshot of what Tommy did in Pittsburgh.
I love Pittsburgh.
I love Pittsburgh because of the smut.
They just had to get rid of that smut.
Sorry, I got the letters in the middle wrong. Soot, not smut.
Well, both, to be honest.
Oh my God.
How about the
Turning
Oilers?
into the New Vegas. and,
Hey, if you want to see what old Pittsburgh used to look like, watch The Deer Hunter. That's old Pittsburgh. I think from the I think that's the
Yeah.
accurate representation of what Pittsburgh was like back in the day when it was a steel town. Deer Hunter.
Now, Jack is Pittsburgh, not Philly. He likes Pittsburgh.
He
over
hates Philly.
Yeah.
He's from Western Pennsylvania, small
Philly's
town.
gritty.
Yeah.
Philly is,
I like Philly. It is.
Yeah.
There's an element of dirt and grime
Yeah.
to it, but you're like,
they
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The East Coast is fascinating.
It has
You
funny
might get
smells
beaten
and
up.
everything.
Everything's
You,
so close.
you likely
Yeah.
could get beaten up if you're a visiting fan in
Yeah,
Philly.
Philly
Oh, no,
has some
100%.
odd smells in it. You're like,
I'm a
what is
Cowboys
that?
fan, so
Oh, you definitely don't go as a
Eagles,
Cowboys
I
fan.
hate all any of my friends or family who are Eagles fans. They are just unrelenting. It's actually difficult sometimes.
Well, they don't have the greatest success in that city as much. Phillies just got knocked out yesterday by the Mats. What a story the Mats are.
Yeah, that's
all
nuts.
because
Good
of
for 'em.
Grimace,
I missed it. I didn't see
the
it.
mascot.
Was there a grand slam or something yesterday?
I don't. I think I heard Reed mention that because it was during their Yankees won, so they're up 2-1. Hopefully, knock off the Royals today.
Take that, Huss.
Yankees Dodgers would be.
Is he a Royals fan?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was also a Royals fan. Redbeard's a Royals fan.
Yeah, Redbeard's a Royals fan, but like Huss has been on a roll with the Bombers and the Jets yesterday, and then
Yeah, the Bombers will still fall.
Chiefs.
Well, at least I hope they still fall. I just don't know who beats them at this moment either. It just takes one though.
Jets is
Just
a
takes
great
one.
story, but I mean, you gotta play like you did yesterday, I guess, in the postseason. But anyway, it's a tough.
This guy's falling.
That was a tough out for them last year.
For the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's
Yeah.
fresh. I'm not sure that's fresh.
They weren't.
from their-
No one was expecting that. That was
Psyche.
everyone was expecting a long series with them and the Avs,
Yeah.
and it was done in five. I believe it
yeah.
was.
That was quick. and Hellebuck got lit up.
Yeah, he wasn't good.
There was a couple of 7-something scores, I think.
But the season's not won on game one.
no, it isn't. So
And it's not
that's
lost
Why, that's
on
why
game
seeing
one.
people on Twitter losing their stuff.
I love it.
It's like, come on, people,
It was expected. That's how it always happens.
play the long game, man.
No.
How long you been at this?
Exactly. They
you
just
survived the decade of darkness, and you losing your shift on first game, like, bruh. Don't be that guy. Or girl.
I don't know when I would get panicked. I won't even get panicked if it's a 2-7-1 start.
Well,
I don't even know how far I would go.
Let's
for a
learn
panic.
from our mistakes, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm also going to sit there if we're sitting here and it's 2-7-1 again, they're last in the NHL, and Tommy's going on a rant that they're last in the NHL again. I would sit there and they'll get out of it.
I'm a little concerned about the D, like,
Yes.
just I think coming together and is Ty Everson that guy? I think that's a lot of pressure to put on this kid, but
I think you just got to let him play a little bit.
yeah,
longer.
you do. You know, you're in the NHL for a reason.
Yeah.
You are acquired for a reason. So yeah, let's give him time. Let's give him time to.
Like Nurse is a guy that
Yeah.
he needs to elevate.
Yeah.
That's the guy that it's not up to Emerson to elevate. It's got to be up to Nurse to elevate.
I just don't know if that gear is there. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. Because I think we would have seen it by now.
Yeah. Well, and in the end, it's just the only thing that might change is that instead of waiting till March to make a trade for defenseman,
You have to find one soon.
Dan Bona and Jeff Jackson have to make it by December.
Yeah.
Okay, make that move a little earlier.
And maybe Kaner comes back earlier and they put a couple extra stitches in there and he'll be tighter and good to go.
If they could do that.
I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, but come back.
I'm with you on that. Whatever
Hopefully,
that means.
we get a 27-year-old Kane back. That'd be great.
Instead of 32.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll be fine. They're fine.
I think we're going to be talking about 2-1
They could be
team.
0-3 and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But the fan base won't be.
That's okay. We
that's
enjoy that.
understandable after going through what you did last year and the run and, winning in Dallas when you weren't supposed to win. And, I mean, the first 3 rounds were great.
They were fun.
Yeah. And then
Actually, final was great, too. I enjoyed it.
Final was nuts.
It was a lot of fun
Did
to
you guys
cover.
watch the series, like the Amazon?
No.
I've watched episode 5. I should finish that
I
up
powered
probably
through
tonight.
it because I just wanted to.
I have zero interest in the other episodes.
I personally have zero interest in all of them.
It's
I
tough
don't
to
blame
watch the last couple, right? Because you're just like, whoa.
Well,
I've had
fresh.
Yeah.
Because you don't
for
see it
people, right?
from that. You didn't really see it from that kind of angle. And
I had a bunch of like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah. Oh, and that night yeah, okay.
I'm good buddies with one of the guys who shot some of the scenes, and we were having some beers and pizza late one night in Florida after would have been game 4. No, game 5, and and he's like, wow, we're seeing stuff that I've never seen before. Like,
Was that Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting access to stuff they hadn't seen before. And I was like, wow, that is wild. Like, great that they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But you just, we didn't have an idea of where it was going to be, how it was going to come out and stuff like that. I think it could have been better compared to some of the full swings and F1s. But I mean, it's pretty good for hockey.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hockey's always been this secretive, like, oh, the door's closed, you're not going to hear or
Yeah.
see anything behind there. And I think it's cool. It speaks to this new generation of players who are, I had no idea Pasternak and Nylander were buddies like that, right? And they have a pretty tight friendship from back in the day when they were kids. So it's cool to see that stuff. See these guys be real.
Yeah, I think Friedman was the one that had it, that there were some teams and players that were a little nervous about this because they didn't have as much control as people would have thought teams had to cut things out. That Amazon had got a lot of editorial control over this, which is what you need, because if teams get control, there'll be a lot more of cut.
Yeah. And that's the culture in the NHL. It's not individuals. We're one team. We don't want you to say stuff that'll give someone the advantage. Like I'm sure, during this season, McDavid will hear it on the ice, about him being emotional and things like that. But he's way stronger, and I think he'll be fine. But that's what you open yourself up to, right? Mm-hmm. When you kind of allow yourself to be vulnerable like that and be filmed. So, like, how many people use the dig in video?
Should be a bumper sticker.
It's just crazy. I'm surprised it's not on t-shirts already. I'm sure it is.
They probably will.
You guys should jump on that.
What was the saying?
Dig the F word in.
Yeah.
Was that Connor?
Yeah.
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 Well, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Someone's doing it already. Let's do it.
I don't
too.
think so.
Well, let's do it. Let's talk to Chelsea over at the Hive. He's talking about like the access and the editorial. I remember talking. Well, I'm good friends with Mike Bealey and Sergio Oliveras, who I still work with in different capacities now. And the stuff that got cut out of Oil Change, they said like the best stuff got cut out of it.
Of course,
because it was it was team run.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, the NHL has always been that way, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
The
You
first,
don't allow the private stuff out. Like, there's a reason why.
The first couple 24/7s from HBO were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those were awesome.
They were really well done, and
Like
HBO.
the Boston, Washington, Philly, and
There was one with the Rangers, because I remember Torts was in that.
Yeah.
And there was someone else, and it actually like humanized Torts just a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe too much, because I won't get in there.
Yeah,
But I think
They did
you
such a
see-
great job with that. But I think like HBO, they're going to come in and be like, we get so much control over this.
Yeah.
They get control over the. Do they do Hard Knocks?
You see the real Torts even like aside from those shows in scrums, right? Like he is
God.
just a.
I was there for one.
Iwanyk's like infamously right
He's
beside
nuts.
him.
Like who's the Larry Brooks? Like
Yeah.
you eviscerated Larry Brooks. Oh my God.
Oh, at the time, I remember when Speck had his show on
told him to
1260.
go
Well, we
F
tried to
himself.
get Brooksy on to talk about
God.
torts, and he's just like, no. Like he's buddies with Speck, like really good buddies.
Okay.
So he'd come on, and he's like, I'm not talking about torts. I'm not talking about that ass.
Yeah.
Like,
That's real hate.
It is true hate
Wow.
between those two.
Yeah.
I love it.
It almost feels like it's personal. I think it is.
That it has to be.
And in this Amazon series, the best swearer, hands down, Paul Maurice.
He's great.
He's so good.
That's a coach I'd like to play
Now
for.
you know why guys like playing for
Yeah.
him, because it's like being in a beer league locker room, and he's just one of the guys, man. And he just says it like it is.
Yeah, when he grabbed, what was it, Bobrovsky's glove and blocker,
pass.
and he's like, what? He's like this.
Yeah.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
And he's down in his suit like this.
So funny.
I'm like, that is great.
And he's dropping F-bombs. And then on the bench, when it's 3-3 with Boston, and he's telling the guys, he's like, stop making, and every second word's F, stop making plays, pound the F out of them so that in game 7, the defense will be destroyed. Like it was on the
love
bench.
that.
Right? I was like, wow. To be one of the trainers and hear the real talk that happens, it must be wild. It was wild. And the fact that they captured that and they played it, I think that's what fans want to see and
Yep.
want to hear, man. Like you don't get access to that. So kudos to Amazon for that.
Just keep your Amazon subscription. 4 Oiler games on Amazon Prime this year.
That's right.
There's 4, isn't there?
It's 4.
Yeah.
So like you could have
That's
the
wild.
entire Sportsnet package. You could have everything Sportsnet connected all the way. You will not get those 4 Oiler games. You will need Amazon Prime to watch those 4
the
Oiler games,
Amazon
and that includes Oilers Habs, I believe. What's
It's
the
like
Amazon
13 bucks a
subscription?
month.
13?
Amazon
don't know.
Plus.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can just pay for the video.
That
I'm
speaks
assuming there's
to
a video
the
one. on
world we live
side,
in now,
but
man. Everything's-
it's streaming.
Yeah.
Slowly going to
Yeah.
streaming. Like
NHL's smart. Maybe they'll finally get, make some big money when they have like 6 different places.
Valid.
Well, that's
but they're
the thing
coming
you
off
need
a
to do.
record year.
Yeah.
Like I think everyone should look at the National Football League,
Yeah.
and they are everywhere.
They are
and
so
now
everywhere.
for the NFL, they get one extra thing out of that not all the other leagues can, is which editorial control.
Yeah.
They could clear their throat if they don't like something CBS does and goes, when's your deal up?
Yeah.
You know,
So it's
and you
CBS
want the
and
NFL.
Fox, right? It's basically CBS and Fox that, does each team?
No,
have-
ABC's in there.
They have
Yeah.
CBS, they have Fox,
Yeah.
they have
Yeah,
ABC /
Amazon,
And they get
ESPN,
certain nights.
they have NBC, they have
ESPN.
Amazon Prime, they have with NBC
Oh,
Peacock.
smoke.
And
They're
games are
everywhere.
brought to you by YouTube TV now.
Yeah.
Do you find
Yes.
that they've
Like they
got
are
it all.
everywhere. But for the longest time, like
Yeah.
even
How
like
do you
before
compete?
all this streaming,
Yeah.
they were CBS, they were ABC,
Yeah.
they were ESPN, and they were NBC.
That's right.
And ABC is
That's
connected
wild.
to ESPN. So like if ESPN did something they didn't like, they could
Yeah.
clear their throat a little bit and go, huh?
Yeah.
You think so, eh? You want to say that about us, eh?
Yeah.
Your right steals up when?
Exactly.
Like and
Yeah, uses
the
leverage.
NFL. I remember hearing years ago for like CBS.
They
and
might be the
Fox.
textbook.
Well, CBS and
Absolutely.
Fox, like they lose money on the NFL deals.
Yeah.
CBS and Fox or something.
Yeah.
But it's a thing where
you need it.
you can't be
Otherwise,
you
you're
can't be-
irrelevant.
You
You're
can't be the
irrelevant on
network
those days.
without NFL.
Yeah.
Like
Sunday,
and that's
Monday,
where you
Thursday.
promote the hell out of all your other products to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
people to watch there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if nowadays they now make money or something, but back in like the 90s and the early 2000s, like throughout the 2000s,
Yeah.
they would lose money on it because it was so expensive. But you can't be the one without it.
No. Like, what are you going to do for 3 days out of the 7 days? You're going
And
to
you can't be like, well,
football. Like,
they get it all and we don't get anything.
yeah,
Like,
you can't allow that to happen.
but now for the NHL, we're like, you were on NBC for all those years.
Yeah.
Yeah, those days are over.
Yeah, you can
They're
only
on
promote
TNT.
Bob Loves Abishola
Yeah.
so much.
They're on ESPN now, but they're streaming, and I'll be fascinating because CFL rights are up in 2 seasons, I believe. I think
Yeah.
it's through the 26th
They'll
season.
go the same route.
So we'll have one more year for sure. But I'll be very intrigued to see. Like, I don't know if TSN is going to have the appetite to spend $50 million a season to have all the CFL.
You guys should start bidding for stuff.
Thanks.
You stream. Why?
We'll start streaming all those.
Why are you
But I'll be
snickering?
fascinated. Well,
What a story.
because I don't think we have the
Imagine that.
millions of dollars to offer.
Let's
for
go to
that.
the halftime show with Matt Iwanyk and Tommy Gazzola.
We
Sweet.
do have a play-by-play guy we could put on,
Yeah. We've
Yeah,
got
he's
that.
already here,
Yeah.
right?
and I think we're pretty set on that part of it. We don't have to find one of those guys.
You have a voice on the inside, guys. I'm
But no,
just saying.
that will be the one I'll be fascinated to watch is how the CFL goes about
Find
this.
some
but-
deep pockets in this town and then get her done.
Well, when we were
it
in
would be the story.
When we went to Vegas in February, Live Golf was in Vegas then, and I was joking that I need to go find the Live money.
Yeah.
Bankroll EST that way.
Hey, guys.
Sell our souls, but become the Live. Like, we'll never talk PGA on Edmonton Sports Talk. We'll always talk Live.
Put an email out. What's the worst thing that can happen?
Cold call.
Yeah.
Well, the worst thing we thought that could happen for that one is I get beheaded somewhere.
Oh.
Ouch.
Yeah.
You went there. Huh?
Yeah, I'll go there.
Yeah, well,
Wow, I can't touch that.
that's the painful.
It would have been.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's
Grim.
a clean one.
Also grim.
I think your head lasts for 7 seconds after.
Nice. We've
is that-
scientifically
Or is that
proven
just
that.
chickens?
Anyway, next topic.
All right, moving on now.
Holy.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the Saudis.
Did you see that look,
Are
man?
we allowed washroom breaks?
You can go.
Yeah, hey.
Just head on like this show. It's just
Who
going.
is sitting in this chair? Like, is that just
Sometimes we
empty?
have 4 people.
Sometimes,
Yeah,
sometimes.
But
There's
man,
a-
that's how good you are.
There's a special guest.
Would
or
you like
something?
someone?
No.
We could
Not
go
necessarily.
grab. We could go.
I think I saw that someone though because I was sitting outside waiting, and then
Tuesday
I was like,
they'll be on with Dusty and YouTube Travel in the morning.
Tuesday.
Show. Tuesday.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
won't be here
tuning
tomorrow.
in. People, I'm tuning
Edmonton
in.
Sports Talk.
gonna go.
It's gonna be good.
It is Thanksgiving weekend.
He's looking fresh
about
too, by the way.
Who?
That
The
said
mystery person. We can't say.
Oh, yes, that said person.
Yeah.
Tedder pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt his abs
Smell-
a little. I was like, whoa, come on,
Smelled
bro.
nice today.
Yeah.
I got a hug.
And then when I shook his hand, I grabbed the bicep. I was like, oh, are you doing some kettlebells or what's
Did it
happening?
move?
It just was very firm.
Okay.
Yeah. Firm.
Yeah, okay.
Much firmer than I remember.
I don't think he's understood what you said
know, I know.
What did it move?
Did it-
no. On me? Come on.
It is Thanksgiving weekend.
What happened there? Did it move? Oh boy.
Seinfeld reference.
Hopefully my
Yeah.
senior producer won't see this.
Have you seen Seinfeld?
You know what? I'm bad at remembering old shows. The soup episode, yeah, I remember that. What Kramer? Are they real? Yeah, they're real and they're spectacular. Like, yeah, a couple of shows come to mind, but I don't remember them.
When you talk about your senior producer, there's a vetting process to get on your programs.
Well, they do.
They
They
go
have
pre-interview. It's
journalistic
like,
integrity.
yeah,
over
Yeah,
this.
they do. I'm like, why
I'll
are we
go
doing a
like that.
pre-interview?
100%.
I go on NHL Network. They're like, you ready? I'm like, I guess so. Sure.
What happens
That
in a
is true.
pre-interview? Like I've heard of pre-interviews.
So it's
So
basically
like
a conversation.
Radioactive today, 3 to 6.
Yeah.
CBC Radio, you'll be on.
100%.
You're hosting right now.
Yeah, I'm hosting this week.
Okay, so you're gonna have guests. You're gonna have a counselor on to talk about something.
Yeah, like,
So how does that
yesterday we
work?
had, I don't know how many interviews, maybe half a dozen or more. And so there's a couple of producers on the team, and you'll chase people because it's during the day,
Yeah.
right? We'll have a quick production meeting in the morning, probably similar to what you guys do, and then
Okay.
you chase your guests, right? So
But so they so they ask the questions ahead of time.
yeah,
Or
you
what
call
is
the
pre-interview?
guest up and you ask them about whatever their interview is going to be about. So it's essentially kind of like an interview, and it'll be similar to so that we know that person is going to be able to give us the goods, and that if there's something that we didn't cover, we can cover later on. And so then you kind of you follow a bit of a roadmap, and then sometimes
It's very
you'll go off
thorough.
of it.
And then
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
very thorough.
standard
That's
across.
how you should
Like
do
DVD
it.
was on the show
Broadcast.
yesterday to kick
Yeah.
off the season, and I pre-interviewed him, but I knew I didn't need to. You don't always have to, but it's just part of the process.
Because Ken is the guy I've dealt with when
Kenny
I've come
Dawson,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Beauty.
But we did, like, the first time
Legend in
I
radio
talked to him, he's like, Tom, we're going to do a pre-interview
Yeah.
about half hour before. I'm like, I guess so. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
We did. It was very thorough. It was
Ugh.
just as long as it was when we were actually on the air.
Yeah.
And then I think I had to go on again not long after. And the scheduling, and it was a little bit tight window. And he's like, "Oh, okay. I guess we'll be okay. I think without the pre-interview,
Yeah,
like,
of course.
we're gonna be just fine."
Like for people like you or you, Maddie, anybody in here who work in the business, I mean, you guys don't need a pre-interview. Like DVD didn't need one yesterday. You know what? Sometimes it's just to do it so that we can grab a soundbite and then use it as a promo. So like it's a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
So at the end of the first hour, DVD's coming up at 10 after 4. So we'll run a quick promo. Hey, the Oilers are kicking off the season tonight. Is it cup or bust again? And then it'll be DVD saying, Well, yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a cup again, and, blah, 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 and then you use the promo, and then so it's like a 10-second bumper, 15-second bumper. Yeah, so it's used for that as well.
I love that. I love learning all those type of things.
We actually had, I don't know if this is before your guys' time, but there's a fellow named Lee Godfrey who used to work for Global.
That name
I know the name, yeah.
Yeah, he used to do sports at Global for a couple of years. He lived there maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. And he was over at Global. And then he went to Canada Soccer for a while, but now he's living in Florida.
Yeah.
And he's living in part of Tampa where the storm is coming through, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we talked to him yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was hunkered down. Him and his wife or girlfriend are hunkered down with a friend. This dude who has a garage that's made out of cinder block and has a garage door that can withstand 185 mile an hour winds.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that was wild. Anyway, yeah, he got pre-interviewed in the morning, which would have been fine. But yeah, we used a soundbite of his in a promo, and then I talked to him for about 7-8 minutes.
Storm died pretty good as it hit landfall.
All
and
things
stuff.
considered, right? Yeah.
It wasn't as vicious as it looked like it could have been with how it was going.
It sounds like Lieutenant Eric's cousin, Lieutenant Dan, survived.
Yes. His boat's still there.
His boat, soft top boat.
Have you heard about Lieutenant Dan?
No.
Or not?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
There's this
Like-
Like
up on Twitter.
Gary Sinise?
There's a guy
No.
that was named
But the
Lieutenant
name
Dan.
after Gary
He had a
Sinise.
little boat.
Yeah.
And he didn't leave. He stayed in the boat. He tied
Like
it
a
up to a
30-footer,
dock.
maybe a 20-footer,
Yeah, like really small.
and it's a soft top.
No way.
And it was tied
And
to a dock. And it was
he didn't go. He didn't want to leave anywhere. And there's some video of like throughout and like how it's moving around and
Oh
stuff.
my
But it
God.
was there this morning, and
Bro was like missing a few teeth,
Yep.
fully tatted, and
Yeah.
you know he's got some stories.
Well, I've seen some
he was Florida man.
Yeah.
He was
Florida man,
He was
yeah.
Florida man.
I've seen a few officials say like state officials being like, if you don't get out, you're putting your life
Yeah.
in danger 100%.
well, the last
you
hurricane,
could die 100%. There's debris still from Hurricane Helene.
Yeah.
right. Still on, as Lee was telling us, it's on the driveway and it hasn't been cleared. And so when 160 mile an hour winds roll around, like that stuff's got to go somewhere.
Tropicana Field roof gone.
Yeah,
tore
I
off
saw that. It
yesterday,
tore
yeah.
off.
And there was a bunch of like that was a shelter for a lot of like workers. Like
Yeah.
Oh.
so I don't know where they
had to be
go
under the
inside
stands
bowls
then.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But like before,
Concrete.
there's pictures beforehand of like all the beds out on the field. And
Oh,
then
no.
that roof came off, and like you look after, there's none of those there. So
Yeah.
they clearly had to move afterwards. But
Yeah.
that got torn up.
I think behind burning to death, drowning would be number 2 for me. And I don't know for the life of me why people would want to still stay at home. I get it. You want to save your place, but there's a potential for the storm surge to be up to 15 feet.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's up to your guys' building from the ground
Yes.
floor. And that's all submerged in water. So like,
Well,
what's your
Helene,
game plan?
There was one of the warnings from officials was write your name on your leg.
Yeah.
So if
I heard that.
so
We
can
if,
identify your body.
We can identify you after.
Yeah, no way.
Like
Yeah,
once
they'll,
you
like, take
hear
a
that,
Sharpie,
to me,
write your
that's
name.
one like I should probably not be
Like
here.
look up tsunami on YouTube and see what happened to all those bodies in Thailand.
Oh, my God.
When Koh Phi Phi Island or whatever was flooded and everything
Yeah.
like that. Like the bodies, they blowed up and you're unrecognizable. Like it is horrific.
Yes.
And so, you know, you just went through Hurricane Helene and now this one's supposed to be even worse. Like, man.
Well, and thankfully it wasn't in the end. Like
Yeah.
in terms of
Yeah,
the damage,
absolutely.
like
Yeah.
the winds died down. There's still
Yeah.
going to be damage, but
I
it
don't know
didn't
what-
hit
yeah.
as it.
Thankfully.
Yeah, that would have been scary.
Was talking to one of the equipment reps who was in town for the start of the season, and he was saying, he was talking, I don't know if he was down in Florida or not, or he had, but he said the Lightning, because their game was canceled in preparation for this against the Predators on Tuesday, I
Yeah.
believe it was, or,
Yeah.
or Monday. He's like the Lightning, all the team, they told everybody to get out and take your cats, dogs, everything.
Sure.
Just get the hell out of
yeah.
the city.
Get out of
And
the
that's
city.
what they told everybody from the Lightning
There was huge
organization.
lineups on the highway
Yeah.
to get out of there. Lee was saying that with the previous Hurricane Helene, he was saying, you know, he spent time up in Edmonton, so he's originally from Toronto. Snowstorms, snowbanks, we're used to that, and we see how that is. He said with the storm surge, the sand got all pushed inland, and there were sandbanks. So
Wow.
sandbanks that were 6 feet high on the sides of roads, and like they were using bobcats and plows to get rid of the sand. Could you imagine that much sand coming in, and
Wow.
and it being like everywhere, right? Like I mean, you know, you have air conditioners and all that stuff. Like, yeah, it sounded wild.
Darren in the Parish Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. I got through the storm pretty good. I didn't lose power. It was pretty windy and it rained a lot, but I live in Lakeland outside of Tampa. Well, glad you're all
Good.
okay,
I'm glad
Darren.
to hear that. Yeah.
Lee said they lost power, but the Jennies kicked in.
Nice.
So he was detailing it on his Facebook. It was
Wow.
it's kind of crazy to watch as it was happening. And then in that cinder block garage that they were in, the guy had a window that you could see outside the trees, like were basically horizontal. But even the glass, I guess, used for that is like this high. Tempered glass that can withstand some crazy winds. 120 mile an hour winds.
Yikes, man.
So that's what, 190 clicks?
Even more, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, 100 miles is 160 clicks. So yeah, maybe 200.
Yikes.
I can't.
120?
Yeah, 120 miles.
193 kilometers.
193.
Damn. That's a light breeze, according to YouTube, Trev.
I don't think we've experienced that here. But we've also experienced minus 40. So
Very true.
yeah, you don't want to get stuck outside in that.
No.
Whether it's wind chill or the actual
Minus
temperature,
50?
we
Did
get
to
it.
minus 50
Last year, I remember got that cold snap with the wind chill. It hit
With the
minus
wind
50.
chill,
Yeah.
But then we also get northern lights. So we see it all.
Oh, it totally makes up for it.
The official drink of the EST Hangout, it's the Finnish long drink. Legend of 1952, a drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment. Real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada is where you can look up what liquor stores nearby might here in Edmonton have it. If you ever have a chance to try one of these, do it.
I will after the show. I'll probably
it's-
just grab that box right there.
Well, those ones are empty. And
We've got some.
I will
Damn
say,
it.
I don't know. We might have one. I think there might be one, which I could get you because
all
they
good.
are. Once you
all
have
good.
one, they're
There's no
absolutely
sugar?
delicious. The top one is sugar free. The bottom one is not.
And
has
what
sugar.
is the
It is gin based.
gin?
It tastes like a grapefruit.
So gin
sparkling water.
soda? Is it gin soda? It must be.
A gin sparkling water.
Yeah, gin
That's
soda.
what it tastes
Gin
like.
soda's my drink.
was
Zero calories, zero sugar. 10 years from now, you guys will be all over that.
This one's amazing.
I believe you.
Yeah.
These long drinks are
Yeah.
just once you have one.
They're
like,
delicious. There's a peach one, too.
When you start trying gin, there's
gotta
so
find
many
it.
good gins out there right now, even locally produced.
Strathcona Spirits does one.
Empress, yeah.
do you like the Ryan Reynolds one?
one's
Aviation or whatever.
Aviation?
Avion? No, Avion was the tequila in Entourage. Aviation.
Was it
I don't know-
Is
I
it
don't know if I've
aviation?
tried that one.
Yeah.
Somebody's not a Wrexham fan.
Yeah.
Are they in second or third division right now?
Aviation.
Aviation, yeah.
Oh, okay. I've seen that bottle.
They're in League Two, which is the third division.
Right.
yeah.
That doesn't make sense, I think, for some, but League Two is the third division.
It doesn't matter.
And they're
like-
doing well.
Yeah. They're
last
selling,
I saw.
Their swag is selling worldwide. People.
Wait, no, are they in League One? They're in League
they're
One.
in League One.
Sorry,
One,
League One, which is the third league, because it's Premier League, Championship, League One,
then
League Two.
that's
Yeah,
right.
sorry.
Yeah.
So they're in League One, which is the third league.
yeah.
They
They must
renovated
be
the
at the top
stadium.
of League One.
They were close. They're now second. They
I'm sure
Birmingham is top of the table at 9 games. They have 22 points. Wrexham's played 10 games. They're at 20 points. They got off to a really strong start. They've in the last 5. I'm looking at this correctly. I don't know which way it goes on Google. They have 2 losses, a draw, and 2 wins.
I love the system though, man. It would be wild if the NHL was like that,
The relegation promotion.
right? Relegation promotion, like
Yeah. Yeah.
Abbotsford, whatever they're called, are coming up, and the
Canucks.
Vancouver Canucks are going down. Like, could you imagine that?
Well, the Sharks, instead of getting Celebrini, hey, congratulations, you're in the American Hockey League.
Yeah,
Have fun.
Get better.
get better.
Be better. Like, get yourself back into the National Hockey League. You got to
what
go do that.
Yeah, that would put the NHL on its ass.
Yep.
North Americans, I don't think they could fully handle it or understand it
No,
to a degree.
no.
Like,
That's
if anyone
something that
needs
would
it,
have had to
MLS
been-
needs
yeah.
to do it
Yeah,
at some point.
Yeah.
They're going to keep adding more teams, and I don't know how many teams they're at right now. It's like 27 or 28.
yeah. Like that's
Yeah.
talk
Too many.
about watered down.
Yes, that's
Okay.
too many.
It's ridiculous.
Really
20.
quickly.
There's the haves and the have-nots.
That Maddie saying that, like, I don't think your North American teams and leagues can handle it. Does that not kind of go back to like just the mentality in Europe? Like, and I'm going to bring this back home right now in a way, because it's like, okay, you need to be better. This is your compensation for losing. You get relegated. That's
Yeah.
how they do it in Europe.
Yeah.
And then things like dangerous situations, getting hit by trays and stuff like that. That's on you. Maddie, you were making this point, I think, like a few weeks ago on here. And I'm reading stories about locally how people keep getting hit by the LRT. And it's like, should they put guardrails? And it's like, no. If you're stupid, you get hit.
Yeah.
Europe, they don't have any of it.
Yeah.
And they don't run
Yeah.
into their their trains as they drive
don't-
by because they're not stupid.
Yes.
But
And
also-
here we placate to the stupid.
Yes.
I think it speaks to the moment in time that we're in because, people are distracted. Yeah, they're on their phone, man. How else could you explain not seeing a train or a sign that says no turn on the right on the red or this is a red light? Like, you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Like the guy who was in that work truck that got clipped by that train, either he was just plain stupid and thought he could outrun it, or B, he just really didn't see the sign and didn't notice the train coming and got T-boned or whatever. Like, it is embarrassing, right? And I don't know about you guys. Like, thankfully, I'm not on the road between 3 and 6. You can pay me enough money to be on the road. Like, I don't know if you guys drive on the Henday. It's just an absolute shit show. Like, people think it's the Autobahn, and dudes in trucks are just right up your ass. And it's just like, my kid's 18 and she's just starting to drive. I feel for them, right? Because I would not want a young kid to have to get on the Henday and just get like, it's like Terradome, man.
Well, these
people
road
are
rage
mental.
incidents.
People are, road rage is nuts. Like, I wouldn't even
Scary.
get out of my vehicle, man, if somebody came out and said something or did something. Like, I'd be like, see ya, bye, rant. I'd be off.
Yeah.
Like, it's just become crazy. And I think it's part of it is people who have come from big cities are now thinking like, well, that's just their habit. Because it never used to always be like that.
No.
Right? It never used to be like that. Like, now it's just, it's scary.
Yeah, you see some of
no other way
the
to
dash
describe
cam videos of the road rage incidents. It's like,
Nuts.
what are you
On my way
doing?
here this morning on the white mud, right? 80 clicks. Sure, you can go 90, push it a little, you go maybe a little faster than that, 95. This dude in an Infinity was like California lane changing, coming up. I came over the Quinnell. It's 4 lanes.
Yeah.
He came flying up the right. I didn't even see him. Came right in front of me and cut me off. And then he was in the left lane and he was in the right lane. And I was just like, dude, if I see you 2 clicks down and you're on your
Flipped
side
over,
or flipped
yeah.
over, I'm gonna roll my window down and I'm going to say, you can't park there. Like, I'll be that guy. And hopefully I don't know if he would have made it, but thankfully he wasn't and nobody else got hurt. But man, that is reckless.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you're doing 120, 130 on the white mud. Like, come on.
To the
How late are you for whatever you got to get to? Phase
Well,
3?
some-
Placating
Just
to stupid.
Yeah, like, you got to open up the Orange Julius. Like, what's happening?
promotion relegation
Dipshit.
stuff. North Americans, we're so used to parity. We want parity.
Right,
we want
right.
everyone to be equal. We want everyone to have a fair chance.
Yeah.
We want everyone to have as good. Everyone's got to be good. Like we talk about now. It's
Yeah.
like the thing that's coming up in the NHL is, well, there's taxes. The teams in Florida have an advantage because of taxes.
Yeah.
And so we got to find a way to make it equal, make it
Yeah.
a level playing field. Whereas the rest of the world, I'm not even going to say Europe, the rest of the world goes, well, no, there's the haves, there's the have-nots.
Right.
If you fail, you get dropped. If you do well, you get bumped up.
It's like that in Australia, right? I think
It's
in
everywhere.
I don't know how it is in cricket or any of those other
yeah.
sports, but
But North America is the one that, you play bad, here, have the best prospect available.
I think you also in Europe. That's how the system was started.
Yeah.
So I think
It's ingrained in the culture.
Yeah, and I think for an established league like the NHL, like, you would never be able to turn it around and say, okay, let's try it this way now. It's not going to happen.
Well, and to ultimately do it,
If
you would
it was
have to
started that way, yeah.
seismically change how it is because, the Oilers are connected to Bakersfield.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
Yeah.
Where if Bakersfield got promoted, but it's your players if the Oilers and stuff, and so that's where you would have to completely blow up
they're
that
connected.
system.
Yeah, you would have to
they're
blow
too
that system
connected.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Whereas that's where MLS, though, I still feel like you don't have that.
yeah.
And
because they're
that
very
is the
new.
culture of the sport you play.
Yeah. In
As
other
you
parts
keep
of the world.
growing, they have a second league in the States, which is, what is it? I forgot. USL?
NPSL?
NASL.
No, there's a different. NASL is gone. I forgot what the other league's called. But there's a second league that's a little lower. And I have to look. Phoenix has a team in that league.
The FFL. Forgot.
Oklahoma City has a team in there too.
Phoenix Soccer, the Rising FC. They play in the USL. Yeah.
I think. Okay.
USL.
You could slowly add a few more teams, but then you create a full promotion relegation system where,
Yeah.
if you are successful, you will be in the MLS. If
Soccer
you
could do
fail,
it. Yeah.
we're gonna bump you down, and you got to go earn it. And naturally, like in England,
Mm-hmm.
whoever gets relegated this year, you got an advantage. You're gonna have better players
Yeah.
than most of the other teams in the
Yeah.
second league.
Yep.
Yeah.
You should be able to get back up, but you've got a year of being punished. And if you can't get back up there, well, then you suck.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Figure it out.
We need to also get some of the singing and the chanting and stuff that happens in the soccer
I would love
in
that.
England. It would be so awesome here, man. It would be so good. Like I was telling you guys about that Brentford game. There was so much singing along going on. They were singing "Hey Jude."
Really?
And I think when Brentford wins, afterwards the team walks around the field and salutes all the fans, and then they sing that. There's that one English song.
Baby Shark?
No, not Baby Shark.
too bad.
Something and Desire or whatever it is. It's like it's almost like a pseudo dance song. But the whole barn was singing. I'll show you the video after. They were all singing along and clapping their hands and doing like this. And I was like, wow, this is so good. But it's like this small group of. They're probably not called the ultras, but they're the supporters group or whatever. Like they're the diehards, and they kind of lead it, right? And I think in hockey, those folks exist.
But the thing is, in soccer, like the league, the teams recognize those supporters groups.
They recognize
work in
them.
tandem with them. They actually work with them.
You're absolutely right.
And even Canada Soccer works with the Canadian supporters group, which is the Voyagers.
Right?
They work with each other.
Right. I think
That's
they
where you need
exist
like
for
the Oilers,
hockey.
to come out and like if there was ever a group that
Connect
came
with-
together, that like
connect with
we're
them.
gonna build
Yeah.
a supporters group.
Yeah.
The Oilers have to work with them,
Yeah.
where it's like part of what you get as a supporters group is things are cheaper.
I think for
like
Edmonton,
you get tickets at it's not an inflated price,
sure.
so that they could get in because in exchange.
Yeah.
They're going to bring you an atmosphere.
And they're going to market your team to a certain extent.
Are the Oilers going to be a franchise that ever does that?
No.
Is there, and that's where you have to get there.
And I think they exist
and I
with
wish-
Oilers Nation or whoever.
Yeah, well, there's
Yeah,
a lot
that
of
won't
different
happen.
ways.
Although they should, it would be smart. When I worked at the Oilers, my old boss, who's now one of the VPs at the Devils and 76ers, Ciampa has been doing really, really good. His idea was to buy Oilers Nation. This was like 14 years
That would have
ago.
been so smart.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
They just fight with them.
Yeah. Well, NHL's old school, but
we-
they're changing now, right? Like, look at this broadcast; it's going to be streaming, and it's.
But is it going to happen?
slowly-
But it has to happen
it's
locally.
slowly.
And it's like I know with the Oilers, first, like one is the NHL it credits a little bit more of the non-traditional media, the more online media than the Oilers do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That when
that's
the
true.
Heritage Classic came and the Stanley Cup came last year, the NHL ran the accreditation, not the Oilers.
Yeah.
And people that weren't accredited for the Oilers were getting a credit for the Stanley Cup
Correct.
and the Heritage Classic.
Correct.
And
Nuts.
that's a little wild to me that, some people could get accreditation for the Cup, but they can't get accreditation to Oilers Game 41.
I can tell you where that started, where that league principle came into play is in some of the other less traditional markets. They needed as much coverage as they could get.
Well,
and
Chris
those offshoot.
Botta? Was that his name?
Botta was an Islanders
He was a
staff member.
And then he left.
He got
and started a blog.
Yeah.
And he was like he also got lost his accreditation, which became, I remember, a big story. That's Charles Wong got upset. And it was like, how dare you do this to this longtime employee who now is
Coliseum.
just writing for it. But he was one of the first, I think.
Yeah. But that's where it started for the NHL is like they needed it, especially in those non-traditional markets. And they loosened the level that it took to get in.
And listen, like the NHL has been old boys club for like since the beginning of time, and so that culture is now changing, and we're seeing those changes in 2020. 22, like it's inclusivity is now something that they, have
Embraced.
taken in, but it took forever for them to do that, right?
We threw out an idea on the morning show, and maybe one day I'll actually try to reach out to the Oilers to see if it could happen. But we wanted like a nasty corner where it's just like one game,
The
take
Jets
half
are
a
doing
section,
that.
and show that like, hey, if you get the right amount of people and the right people, there could be a good atmosphere. That's
Why
brought.
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Like you guys have a following online,
Yeah.
and if they celebrated that, like it's.
But
No
there's a
brainer.
win for both. It could be. You could bring a better
100%.
atmosphere to Rogers Place throughout the regular
100%.
season.
Yeah.
Obviously, playoffs come, and we
And
saw
it-
how great the playoffs were. The Cup final, like how loud that place got.
Yeah.
But
And it
why
was-
can't you get that throughout a regular season?
Because it's a premium product.
Well, that's
And it would show that they're connected
and
to
Liverpool's a premium product, but they have supporters that bring some noise.
That's a good point.
That's the thing.
That's a good
Man,
point. I was
those,
saying
those
that.
fans travel like crazy.
It's
Oilers fans travel like crazy.
Yeah, they really do.
That was
Well-
wild, man. Seeing those Oilers jerseys and different people from all over. It's nuts.
I do want to get to the EST flyaway. The keyword to Los Angeles. We're trying to send you to LA December 26th to the 30th to go see Clippers Warriors at the Intuit Dome. Cardinals Rams at SoFi Stadium, as well as Edmonton taking on the Anaheim or LA.
Wow, what a trip.
Flights, hotel, car, all presented by the 780. Homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. It's both their shop name and their in-house clothing brand. Dusty had the big hat. And so did you, man. You tried it on a little bit earlier.
Very comfy.
Check them out online at 780.com. That's the word 780.com, or their 5 locations, which is Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. We're qualifying people 4 times a day, as well as once on Saturdays on Hello Hockey. The keyword for today, McVay. McVay, M-C-V-A-Y. Sean McVay, the head coach of the LA Rams. Right. Text that to 780-218-9999. You'll go into a draw. Trev will call someone the next 5 minutes or so. I'll speak to them on air briefly as you will go into the mix. We're qualifying people until November 28th, 29th.
How many trips are you guys giving away?
Just the one.
Oh, just one.
Just the one.
For one? For 2? Or?
For 2.
Okay.
Flights, hotel, accommodations.
You're eligible.
780, yeah, you're not an employee of EST. 780-218-9999, and we'll have 2 more chances later today.
Stop texting in the word smut.
Well, so you weren't here yesterday.
Smut.
Soot.
You smut.
Norman at Combine, I think, started the charge. I didn't get to the keyword, so people, what was the keyword they sent in yesterday? They started, moist. People just started texting in moist. It's like, why are you texting moist? And then asked each other, like, we got you. We
yeah.
So then I delayed giving away the keyword.
Oh, look at you.
Belzy
back.
and Zach, like, I threw it on and we started talking, but like before I gave the keyword, Belzy then started talking about something. I was like, and we extended it. And then in the end I said it was 1-1.
How did moist come up?
They just wanted to do that. So
moist
today they were trying to do... trying to get it going again. I think with smut and stuff. So,
moist
but that's not the keyword. It's McVay. You could text in smut,
like you.
But Trev's not going to call it picky then.
Yeah,
smut. We need to find out what really happened in Pittsburgh during the Yakupov draft.
Yeah,
remember we were on that riverboat?
Yes.
Holy smokes!
I've never seen nipple sweats
200
until
people.
Yeah,
nipple sweats.
Nipple sweats. Then remember how Jack Michaels? Remember how humid it was?
It was humid. It was. That was hot, man.
He would say
the Lululemon pants were not working.
No, it was so hot. It was like 36 and humidity through the roof. And yeah, they put us all on the riverboat and they had the player avails.
Do that. Put us on
awful.
Like a River Queen boat.
Yep.
And then
all
the top 10 guys were on the boat.
Great scene.
Sitting on bar stools.
Stinky and Jack. Like, I've never heard anyone say
melting.
Yeah, it's so humid that your shower doesn't take here. And I'm like, that is such a weird thing to say. And then I'm watching him do interviews, and he's got these rings under his nipples. I'm like, oh my god!
You gotta get waxed before you go to a place like that, right? So, because when you know the humidity's you're gonna be melting through it. You can wear suits, man. Florida during the playoffs was mental.
Yeah,
the humidity was nuts, man. I was like, I went to shorts after the first TV hit. I was like, this not happening.
No.
Yeah, this is not happening. But ironically enough, back in the day when McDavid was drafted in Florida, it was in Sunrise, same thing.
Yep.
It was like sunny, and then all of a sudden, boom, downpour.
Yeah.
Torrential.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah, I think draft day was kind of cloudy. Yeah.
I was suit jacket up top, shorts on the bottom.
Smart.
Yeah.
Good call.
Wow. I'm just shooting you up.
Yeah,
stuff. That's all you're gonna show.
Yeah, it's nipples up on TV.
Is it nipples up? Is that the line?
Just taking his term. Yeah.
Nipple sweats, man.
Is that the-
And then I thought that was
never had the nipple
heard
sweats.
I've never heard the term.
I think
nipple
it's
sweats
like
before.
I think it's like
no, it was literally like
so it wasn't the sweat lines under here.
No.
It was on the actual nipple.
oh yeah.
Wow. Maybe
Like
his
how you
pores-
figure this out.
Maybe his pores are a little bigger. or
Well,
something. I don't know.
listen, I was in Arizona. I was in Phoenix one
Why are
year.
we talking about this?
And it was like
You're adding
120
to it.
degrees.
Oh yeah.
And I had to go
It's a
out.
dry heat out there.
Yeah, but I experienced nipple sweats too. So
Oh.
nobody is immune to it.
Maybe it's
It
a white guy
happens.
thing.
I don't remember ever having nipple sweats. I'll say
This guy,
that.
is this
Yeah.
the Gretzky
Okay.
sign again?
Yeah.
That's a sick hoodie, man.
Thanks, man.
I saw you flexing on Insta with your
I don't do-
Gretzky hockey school.
He goes
setup.
coaches.
You went to Idaho?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
that explains
Phoenix.
why you saw
3 or
Juju.
4. Yeah, I saw Juge in Idaho. Yeah.
What a good gig.
No complaints. No
I
complaints.
still kick myself for not picking up some swag when they were in St. Albert one year and Gretzky was there. and he's wearing the baby blue ball cap.
Yep.
And yeah, that's some tight looking stuff.
Ty
Whoever does their stuff.
Ty does the stuff. Ty's
he
like
does.
very like fashion aware, especially and his wife too. I think they're moving away from Adidas because the deal's up.
Yeah, Adidas stuff is.
Adidas's hockey
Fanfare,
deal.
please.
Yeah, the hockey deal with Adidas is done.
What is this? Like,
This
what
is
brand
Adidas.
this?
This is Adidas. Yeah,
Oh, I take that
but
back.
so Ty's working on some other ones that might be
Okay.
just as nice, if not nicer.
Like different brands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get the emails from the Gretzky Hockey School when their swag is available.
Yep.
And so I got the email, and so I'm like, okay, let's see what's available. I went and checked on it, and it's got the new Gretzky caps or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
$54 American. I'm like, yeah, I don't need a hat.
Yeah, they had some special ones made by this niche hockey
Right,
company.
some designer. maybe,
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
collab. Yeah.
They have that too, where like Ty will be like, "Look at this! You want this hat? It was made by so and so. There's only 100 made." I was like, "Yeah,
That's
I guess so."
pretty sweet. Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah, they get stuff
Gretzky
sent to
swag.
them just like.
Yeah.
He gave me like a DJ. I've got like DJ's shirts that he wore on the tour.
No way.
He had a box. He's kicking him in the garage. He's like, "You guys need any golf shirts?" I was like,
Any nipple sweat stains on those?
"Not yet. We're working."
Well, are
on
you
it."
sure?
Yeah.
The DJ didn't sweat in them. That's what he thinks.
No, they were brand new. He doesn't even like. There's
But
like
he
a
said he
shoes
wore them
box.
on the tour.
Oh, they were brand new.
They were his from the tour, yeah.
okay.
But they're ones that were just left over, and he just kicks this box. He's like, "Guys,
Yeah,
they're mediums.
bro.
You guys want them?" I was like, "DJ
Come on.
wears a medium." I'm like, "Yeah,
DJ's not a
Between him
he is."
and his,
But they make it custom, so it's a little bit longer.
okay.
yeah, between him and his brother-in-law, the swag they must have in
It's insane.
his dad's garage must be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, different world.
Even what was that? Gretzky's basement. Didn't you get stuff from that? Or
I
think
no, the
Lolly toured
jacket.
it. Lolly.
Yeah, Lolly was out
no,
there.
'cause he was out there.
They're gonna do
Gretzky's
Gretzky's basement again.
That's sick.
Yeah,
What's Gretzky's basement?
it was at the
this-
All Star game.
Yeah, it was at the All Star game.
Oh.
It was on like Bloor or something, somewhere in Toronto.
Yeah, they Airbnb'd this place, but they curated.
Into a Gretzky thing.
Yeah, and like the jacket was like $700.
Nuts.
And they custom made it for you.
People buy that stuff up.
And that's what Ty said. He's like, "We made a lot of money." I'm like, "Okay, I believe you."
What was that McDavid game worn jersey? What did that go for at that sale? A couple
35,000.
35,000.
And then $2 for the bag fee.
yeah, that's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
They couldn't just waved on that one and just
No.
be like, you're spending 35 grand here. Have
Throw
a
a bag.
bag for free. On
Have a
us.
bag.
35,000 and $2.
Speaking of Gretzky, there's remember the guy Rick the Stick or whatever? He used to be the stick guy for the Oilers. Apparently, he's selling one of Gretzky's sticks from the first Stanley Cup and a Gordie Howe stick. Like he's
Wow.
putting it up for auction right now, and I think it's a local auction house in Edmonton.
Wow.
I always wonder
One
what
of the ones Kastner auction.
Kastner's.
Yeah.
I've always wondered what it'd be like to have that money to be like, oh, that's up for auction. I should go buy it. Oh, Ohtani's 50th home run ball is up for auction. Yeah. I think I might put a bid on that one.
Drop
Wouldn't that
Mel.
be something?
yeah.
Like especially if you're into the sport and the player, like that'd be well. Like, can you imagine having like an old wood Titan up here?
Yeah.
With the baby powder on the blade and Gretzky 99 on it. That
And
would be
yeah,
pretty
he
sick.
I think he put his name on there in pencil. Like
Yeah.
that's the tell if he actually was a game stick or not.
Maddie did a story with this guy Rick. I think it's the Last Chuck is his name, but he used to be known as Rick the Stick, and he used to be the stick boy for the Oilers in the '80s. And so back in the day, remember at the Coliseum or Rexall, the visiting team was down that hallway
Yes.
towards the elevator.
Yeah.
And so he would just basically be standing outside, and he'd help the visiting team with their sticks. And in Maddie's story, which is online with the Journal, it's great. And he talks about, so Gordie Howe was in town, and I saw him coming off the ice, and I thought, okay, I got to ask him. Like, I got to get his stick. There was nobody else around. And he's like, yeah, no problem here. Sure. What do you want me to sign it? Yeah. To Rick the Stick or whatever. And this guy just amassed all of these sticks
Smart.
over the years. Right?
Smart.
And even the Gretzky story is cool. Like he knew there was nobody around. So he saw some old banged up stick and he said, hey, Wayne, can I get this signed to my name and stuff? And he's like, yeah, no problem. And he signed it off. That was like in 1984.
Smart.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Need to qualify some here quickly for the EST Flyway to Los Angeles, presented by the 780. Trev, what do we got? Cole, congratulations. You're in the mix for this. Is this Cole and Ellerslie or no?
No, we had Cole and
Yeah.
Ellerslie a couple days ago.
Wait, is it cool?
Wait, Trev is... who do we have on the line? Because Trev is second
Good
guessing
one,
himself.
Trev.
He got one name right. Cole Harbor Joe.
Oh, Cole Harbor Joe. It's Cole Harbor, Joe. Well, congratulations. You're in the mix to go to Los Angeles. If you are the big winner of this draw, who would you take with you?
Oh, it would have to be the wife.
Have to be the wife. And naturally, have you ever been to LA before?
I have not. Nope.
No, okay. So it'd be a first time there. And if you go, how excited would you be to go see? What would be more? Would you rather go see SoFi? Like you'd get to go to both, but Intuit Dome or SoFi? What excites
it would
you
have
most?
to be. It would have to be SoFi.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Good answer.
Min likes that answer. Congratulations. Best of luck. You're in the draw. Keep your phone on November 29th because if you're the winner, the boys will give you a call and you have to answer your phone, but they'll let you know that you're off to Los Angeles. Best of luck.
Appreciate it, boys.
If you want to be like Cole Harbor Joe and qualify, 2 more chances today. EST Afternoons with Hernan and Gager, and then on the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. We want to qualify and send you to LA. That's EST Flyway to LA presented by the 780.
I'm looking forward to the first person who gets qualified and you ask them, what are you looking forward to most? This game, that game, that game. And they go, the shopping.
I haven't had anyone say hockey. Yeah,
I don't blame them because the other stuff is cool because we don't have it here.
But we're like
SoFi
like
Stadium
a
looks
chance
like
to go see
futuristic.
Edmonton play hockey. You know, in LA. I just would have. Through this so far, I haven't.
Are
heard
you guys
one.
going down to do a show
No.
down there?
No, it's just we're sending 2 people.
Oh,
we're
just
not.
sending
We're
2
not going at all. We're just sending
You guys
people.
should set that up.
We did Vegas last year. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
I saw that. That looked like it was fun.
It was super fun.
It was great. But no, we want to just send the listener. And
Were you guys on the strip or by the rink?
We were at Park MGM,
Park MGM,
which
okay.
is next to the rink.
Yeah, it's not far.
They tore down Tropicana
Yeah,
for the
they tore it
baseball
down.
stadium.
I saw that. Yeah. That's going to be wild. A baseball stadium on the strip blows my mind.
With no one watching.
And it's going to be like the the latest technology so that they can play games and avoid the heat and all that stuff. Yeah. Vegas sports town, man. That's nuts.
Totally.
Yeah. NBA's coming, right?
They will.
Yes.
They will.
They will.
LeBron will.
LeBron and
NFL,
Fenway Sports
NHL,
Group, which is the
MLB.
Liverpool
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
They're the front runners for it.
Yeah. And I think they're already got professional pickleball, so it's like, all the big sports are going to be there.
It'll just be fascinating how the NBA handles it because they'll need Seattle too. Is that 2 expansion teams? Is there
Right.
relocation involved in any of that?
Good point.
Because you have to get to Seattle too.
Yeah.
You have to right that wrong. And I'm actually still surprised that like the fact that the Kraken have been around now for this is season
3, 4.
3?
4.
Is it 4?
Yeah. Is it 4?
4.
Yeah.
Well, 3 or 4, whatever. The fact that the NBA hasn't just said, "Yeah, we're
Come
coming
back? Yeah.
the rink's built. You got a brand like a new facility. Yeah, we're bringing a team back there. The fact that hasn't happened
Isn't
is
their
surprising.
rink the revamped old rink where
Yes.
the Sonics used to play?
They I think
Yep.
like lifted the roof or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
and
yeah.
then redid
Well,
it,
the-
take
yeah, the
everything
roof
down
is-
and then kept the
It's
roof.
a historic site,
Yeah,
so they
it is.
couldn't. Yeah, they
Demolish
basically built a new arena under the roof.
Yeah, which is wild.
So I'm glad you brought that up, Maddie, because the NHL has actually gotten some stuff right. Like obviously moving the Coyotes to Salt Lake City,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, no
good.
brainer.
Now they're a real franchise again, which is nice. But getting into Seattle first,
Before
that-
the NBA's return.
that's a win.
That's a win.
And then even bigger was getting into Vegas first. Before the NFL, before the NBA does, that's a big win.
I'm actually shocked that Vegas has turned out to be the hockey market that it is.
Yeah.
I did not know that the hockey fans would be there like that.
Well, I think there's the 2 factors. One is it was their first team ever,
Yeah.
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 right?
Yeah.
Like,
First
and even in
professional
the end, the Raiders come
sports team.
there.
Yeah.
It's not their team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
The Golden Knights are the team. And 2, they were successful right off the bat.
Yeah, and there's still a ton of
And-
people that travel
yeah.
to go watch those games
Yeah.
and have those tickets. And it's a city like Vegas. There's people flying in every day
Yeah.
from all over.
And
And you
it's-
throw your tickets up online, they're gone.
There's like 3 million people there now. They're
Yeah.
just about at 3 million people that actually live there.
Yeah.
The third factor to this, I remember when we were in Vegas, I was talking to a local there who brought this up, and I always thought this, but it was the case in the end. Before right days before the Golden Knights' first ever game was that mass shooting.
Oh yeah.
That happened.
Yes,
And
that concert.
that they were able to rally behind as a city. Like sports,
Right.
that's one thing sports
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it could be that great
Yeah.
rally cry. Like after Hurricane Katrina the year later when the Saints returned, how big that was for the
Good
community
point,
and
sure.
everyone coming out. That's what sports can do.
Yeah.
And
Patriotism
for
definitely is.
the Golden Knights, like that was they had that team that they can now rally behind as a city
Yeah.
to overcome such a tragedy.
Yeah.
And I think right there that helped connect the Golden Knights with the city.
For sure.
That there was, we have this as a community we can come to and show we're strong. We, you can knock us down, but we're going to get back up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think those are the big factors that have helped the Golden Knights.
Great point.
It's an awful reason why for that third one. No one would want that to be the reason.
No.
But I think that was one of the
Someone
factors.
had some vision there for sure.
You know what was creepy is the first Oilers game in Vegas. We stayed at the Four Seasons, which is at Mandalay Bay. It's like the top 4 or 5 floors of Mandalay Bay. And my room was on the same wing as where the shooter was. But it was like 5 or 6 rooms down. But I could see like 3 or 4 floors below where that window was, and I could see the sight line, and they still had the stands and the stage up there. And this was in January, and that happened like in October.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that is so creepy and grim.
That's scary.
I had to like close the curtains. I'm like, I can't think about that.
I didn't, when we were there for the playoffs, and we weren't staying on the strip. We were staying on the other side by the In-N-Out.
Yep.
And across the highway. And I didn't even think of that, because you can see Mandalay Bay from across from where we were staying at the Hilton on that side, and you can see the whole strip. You see the hotels.
Yeah.
I think we might have talked about it once, and but yeah, I never really thought about checking that spot out or anything like that.
It's just like a lot essentially that's been paved, and now like
there's nothing.
They need to figure out they need to do like a memorial or something. They're talking about it, but like everything was still up.
Yeah.
Right? And I was just like, oh.
I can't imagine.
Because that'd be a full crime scene still, too.
Absolutely,
You're not
they're
rushing
investigating.
to clean that out.
And you think of like going to Vegas, everybody's going there for fun.
Yes.
And you're going there to, for entertainment or, to see a sporting event, and for something like that to happen, that takes, I don't think you ever get over that.
Ugh.
Need to get to Road Warriors, which is brought to you by Steel Heavy Haul Trailers. Custom manufacturing heavy haul trailers for mining, oil and gas equipment, highway transportation, quality, innovation, and integrity. Trusted by leaders in the heavy transport industry. Get on the road with peace of mind for your large loads. AccuSteel.ca. In the National Football League, the team that is on the road tonight. It is the 49ers headed to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. A great rivalry between those two. But the 49ers have to figure some things out. 2-3 this year.
Why? They got beat by a better team last Sunday.
What else? Oh, baseball, we've got 2 series. Both could end today. The Yankees on the road in Kansas City looking to end the Royals season, while the Royals are looking to force a deciding Game 5. Same thing between the Guardians and the Tigers. The Guardians, though, looking to stave off elimination against the Tigers. That gets going at 4 o'clock. Yankees Royals gets going at 6 o'clock, so I will be locked in for that one a little bit later. And it is UEFA's Nations League action today. That gets going. Italy hosting Belgium.
Forza Azzurri.
Who does England got?
I don't know.
I gotta go find it.
You were born in England.
I was born in England, yeah.
And you go back. You make a pilgrimage back there once a year. You said you were just there in August.
England, Greece.
England, Greece.
In that one. Oh, it's also qualifying for South America for World Cup. Chile, Brazil tonight. Sorry, Hernan.
Chile, Brazil will be
Sorry,
intense.
Hernan.
That'll
well,
be
Chile's not good, and Hernan's not.
Are they no
happy.
good anymore?
They're in a rebuilding phase.
Their golden generation's now well past.
Yeah.
And they're for lack of a better term right now, they're pretty awful.
Yeah.
I will say, go talk to Hernan after, and he'll tell you how bad things are. They lost to the worst team. They're 1-2-5.
Honduras.
In their qualifying right now. In the table, they are second worst.
Yikes.
Only Peru's worse than them in the World Cup qualifying.
That doesn't
CONMEBOL.
doesn't sound like the Chile team that I remember, but okay.
The golden generation long gone.
I don't really follow them, right?
And then the Yankees, it's looking to advance to the ALCS. Our rightful spot in the ALCS.
Oh, stop it.
So we can get to our rightful spot of the World Series. So we can be the rightful champions of the World Series for a 28th time.
Stop.
Stuck on 27 for way too long. It's ridiculous.
09.
Yeah, it's
living
ridiculous.
that past glory, huh?
It's time to get that next win.
Sure.
Aaron Judge deserves it.
Yeah, I beg to differ, but all
He's a
right.
big tank.
He is a huge human being.
He's just an athlete.
I wonder if he ever played football. I always wonder that when I see him step up to the plate. Like, the guy's, what, 6'7"?
7,
or
6'8".
He would have been a
6'8".
beast in football.
Yeah.
He was one of those
He would have been a
few-
good tight end.
Yeah, he's one of those few athletes that you look at and be like,
He's Megatron-esque.
Is this
Yeah.
the slow shift that we're going to start seeing of some athletes? The best, like for the longest time, best athletes went to the football.
Yeah.
Are we going to start seeing that shift of some of the top athletes go to other sports because of just everything that's...
Yeah.
The football will be football for a long time, but I do believe that one day, like, you always hear those parents say, I'm not letting my kid play football.
Yeah.
And that takes a long time to fully, like, cycle out the top athletes from
Yeah.
going there.
Yeah.
But I feel like Aaron Judge was one of those first ones where it's like, this guy should have been playing football, but he wasn't.
You don't see like the Deion Sanders or the Bo Jacksons anymore, right? Like the two sport professional athletes, and they're excelling in both sports. Like, I think part of that probably is because now, like, if you pick one sport, you have to focus on it, right? Like, it's tough to play. Probably tough to play football, high-level football, and high-level baseball just because of how much time it takes. But unless you're gifted and special,
Like,
then I think you can still do it.
the most recent ones that come to mind, Kyler Murray was drafted by the A's in the first round, and then obviously goes first overall to the Cardinals.
Right.
Russell Wilson, remember, was he drafted by the Yankees?
Oh, is he baseball?
But he would go to training camp or spring training with baseball teams, and it was just kind of like a PR thing mostly. But so there's been like a few, but you're right. Back in the day, remember, was it Tom Glavine that played hockey?
Did he play hockey?
Yes, he was drafted by the Kings.
Yes.
Oh, wow. But it's one thing to be drafted by two different teams in two different leagues, but then to excel,
Right.
And to be a star, which I don't know if you saw the 30 for 30. I don't know if Deion had a 30 for 30, but Bo Jackson's 30 for 30 is
That was
awesome.
yeah, fantastic.
Amazing. Yeah. And hard to believe it was that one tackle that severed a
In his
nerve
hip
or something in his
and he
hip.
still came back and played with a
Casey?
metal hip.
or yeah, but it wasn't the same.
No,
Yeah.
he was something else.
Kick
man.
myself because you just took it for granted that was happening back then, right? Didn't realize just how special it was.
Somebody's saying Mahomes played two sports, but it never...
Mahomes,
He didn't play
baseball.
He played baseball.
He's
So he didn't go to the majors, like, and
That's
he
it.
wasn't
That
playing in
explains his
both.
side
and
throw.
all of that. Russell Wilson did the same.
Yeah.
Russell was it? He went to, was it Yankees training
I
camp?
just said that, but yes.
I wasn't. Sorry.
That's
I was
okay.
looking
Dad
at
played
something
for the
else.
Trappers
That was
too,
my
didn't
bad.
Yeah, Patrick
Yes.
Mahomes Sr. played for
Yeah,
the
he
Trappers.
played Trappers and in Grand Prairie. He spent some time in Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
No, I was looking up Canada because Duck Dad said CONCACAF Nations League play is also going on. How about some love for our own federation for a change, man? I don't care about CONCACAF. Why am I going to give love to CONCACAF? Doesn't deserve any love. Canada's not playing. I don't care. Then
I believe you've said in the past CONCACAF is corrupt.
absolutely, well, all of them. I'm not
Yeah.
giving any love to CONCACAF. They don't deserve
Canadian
anything.
Federation has some work to do to
Oof.
bring some fans.
Yeah,
back
but
into
it's
the
not like
fold.
Canada's not playing. So why do I care what's going on between Honduras and someone else?
Yeah.
I cared about Italy because, and like UEFA Nations League because I'm Italian. I mentioned England because English.
Yeah.
He
Ukraine
votes in
doesn't
the
play till
Italian
tomorrow.
elections.
Italian.
Chile, Hernan play is Chilean, so I mentioned that one. Why do I care about CONCACAF? CONCACAF can screw off. How many times does CONCACAF screw Canada when it comes to matches against the U.S. or Mexico?
God.
I'm not giving any love to CONCACAF.
Hey, well-
and I don't like the president of
So
CONCACAF. He's
political,
Canadian.
man. It's so political.
CONCACAF,
Yeah.
the president of CONCACAF, Victor Montagliano, or whatever the hell his name is,
He's
screwed
a greasy
Edmonton when it came to
paisan.
the World Cup.
Although we did
he got it to Vancouver.
We
He
did
took
get
it.
Mexico to come here in November, which was
That was awesome.
amazing to see.
Yeah, but that's Canada.
That is Canada.
That's not CONCACAF
no, it's
getting
not
involved.
CONCACAF. Yeah.
Screw CONCACAF.
Yeah. But that was CONCACAF, wasn't it?
Well, it was
all
CONCACAF
CONCACAF
World Cup
Under that
qualifying,
umbrella, yeah.
but I'm
but
not.
the organization
I only
is
cared
what-
about Canada for that
Yeah.
one. I don't care about
Yeah.
anyone else.
Yeah, I know.
And in the end, like, yeah, the president of CONCACAF right now is a Canadian. He used to be in charge of Canada soccer.
Yeah.
He was one that screwed up Canada soccer in some ways. But also he then got in and he got into the year of Vancouver because he always wanted the World Cup in Vancouver to get them back into the World Cup qualifying. And it left Edmonton in the lurch.
But I thought
and
it was-
never did enough for Edmonton in that when Canada was supposed to have 3 host cities for the 2026 World Cup. You could have brought Vancouver back in, still had Edmonton, and had
Toronto.
But I think
But
part
instead,
of it
they
was the
bolted
government.
from Edmonton.
There's a government here too, and they're big
Yeah, they
and
made
not,
that, but
not pushing.
You
for
could have got
Edmonton.
around that in some. Vancouver wasn't supposed to be involved still in the end.
Yeah.
So screw Victor
Good rant.
Got to
and
start
screw
planning for that
CONCACAF.
World Cup, though, man. That's going to be sick.
I know.
A couple of games, in Canada or down south of the border.
I'll
Seattle
be
or-
Toronto for the opener for Canada, and then
Yeah.
they'll play 2 games in Vancouver. If they finish top of their group, their next 2 games, if they win and then
Yeah.
advance again, would be in Vancouver as well. If they don't finish top of the group, they'll have to travel more places.
Yeah.
That's how it
When I
fully
was
plays
in
out.
the summer, my cousins over there were like, "Yeah, we got to come over for that World Cup. That'll be wild."
Hmm.
I'm like, "Yeah, should start thinking about that."
That's why I got in on the Voyagers for that
So
Ice
you could
Taka
get
games here,
access
and now
to-
I'm still going to be a Voyager, and I'm keeping that because I want I think talking to one of our nasties, he's a little higher up, Larry Zima, Voyager Z, and I think in our nasty chat.
He travels quite a bit.
He does. He travels a lot. He because Copa was happening at the same time as the Stanley Cup playoffs.
That's right.
He went to a Canada game in Kansas City, then went to Game 7.
That game in Kansas City
he was all over the place.
Like everybody's shirts were like soaked because it was so hot.
Oh yeah. But in the end, it's just one of those things where like I'm kind of in the more like long term now people of that, so I might get a quicker access to hopefully World Cup tickets, maybe. Fingers crossed.
Have you got your Voyager's chest tattoo yet, or
no? No,
that's probably coming.
But I got some stickers.
You guys have a tattoo place now,
right there.
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
Do it easy.
I don't know how often they're open. They're usually open on weekends, and it's only appointment only.
Oh,
you can't just walk in.
I'm sure it is.
And they did weird things. They like 2 months ago, they set up like Halloween decorations.
2 months ago.
Yeah, and now they're gone. Like they set them up for like
that
2
is
weeks, and then
strange
we're like,
behavior.
well, that's a little early for Halloween. Like, why you're setting up? And then all of a sudden it was gone, and now it's like we're well within October, and there's nothing.
You're 2 weeks away.
So I don't know what's going on over there. I'm very curious about it. I won't be getting a tattoo from them.
Maybe there's some edibles at play.
Okay.
How do you explain behavior like that?
I don't know.
Well, we could go ask them. I guess that's one
Yeah,
thing.
I suppose.
But
Oh wow, that coffee
good.
cold.
it's cold.
Yeah,
That's
cold.
what happens
I got
when it
hot
sits
brew.
out for the longest
I got
time.
hot brew and cold brew. I got some love from Joe Antonucci from the Italian Center in Sherwood Park.
All right.
He's like, you got to be on there more often. I said, oh, Joe, that's nice for you to say that.
Giuseppe.
Joey, eh? Joey's been there for-
Buongiorno.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Joey at the Sherwood Park and Carmine and Jerry downtown and Little Lily.
Let's go.
Good guys.
It's a great spot. Just
Hey.
a
Good
great
guys.
spot.
Ooh.
Like all the spots are great, but there's just the 95th.
I don't-
The OG.
is
The
just
subs are so
perfect.
big though. Like, can you guys
The
eat
panino?
a whole sub?
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's.
I've cut it down. I can just do half.
I limit myself to half because
Yeah.
I know like
Yeah,
I should
you gotta
probably
snack
eat
the
as
other
much because
half
that's
later.
massive.
That's a
It
big
is massive.
sub.
But if I went and ordered one,
But they
like,
still
got
pump
one
'em
now
out.
and came back,
Yeah.
I could eat the whole thing if I wanted.
So good.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just
a good
amazing.
sub. That is a good sub.
Growing up on those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to actually go. I used to go to the Italian bakery, which was on 97th Street. Which now, after they had that big fire,
They reopened.
reopened again?
It's
They have a new
amazing.
location,
It's
yeah.
beautiful inside. But there you could go and make your own sandwich. It would be tailor made. Like you could choose the 2 different meats or something, and choose whatever kind of cheese you wanted. All the spreads, and then the banana peppers. Yeah, that was a hell of a sandwich, man. It still is. And then you could even get a sourdough bun, which they would have these little sourdough
I
buns.
love sourdough.
And it was like $4. It was like $4.25 every lunch hour, jammed in there. But that's when I first met Joe. He used to work there with a fellow named Frank, who's a beauty. He's no longer here, but great guy. And then Joe went over to the Italian Center. Yeah, pretty cool.
So even
Joe,
where
Frank,
all the
Sammy,
pianos are, they have all
Diego.
sorts of other. Yeah, just
Lino.
Yeah.
All these Italian names. I'm like, are you listing off my uncles here?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Joe, Frank.
We got another text.
Giuseppe.
No name to this one. I agree. Min is a great guest with 3 exclamation points.
Hey,
Oh, wow.
You got 3 exclamation
Nice.
points. Look at you go.
Well, you bring a guy from E-Town into a show, it's got to be good.
We still got a few more minutes, but you are on Radioactive.
Yeah.
3 to 6, CBC Radio, 93.9. Is that right?
Yeah, 93.9.
On
Tanera
the FM
McLean
dial.
is riding shotgun with me this week, so
Do you have any idea what's on?
she's great.
big
Today,
plan
I
for
was just
today?
looking to see what.
are we talking
what is
about
happening.
hitting the LRT with your work truck?
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Yeah.
teasing.
I do know that we're going to have Jordan Tutu on with
nice.
Adam Scorgi.
Scorgi was great.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome because
Yeah.
I think they're having the release on Friday.
Yep.
At Rogers or
Rogers,
something?
Yeah.
yeah.
Like where in
Fort Hall.
Rogers? In Fort Hall,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So I haven't seen any of the footage, but I heard it's supposed to be pretty good.
Scorgi's fantastic.
He's done some
Jordan's
amazing
got an
work.
Yeah.
amazing, compelling story with him and his family and his, growing up, and so that'll be a fun talk. Also planning to have a fellow from Sabor, the restaurant downtown,
Oh.
Corey Levy, I think is his name. He's the wine director there.
Oh.
So he's going to come in on Friday and talk about, some pairings for
coming in?
Thanksgiving. Yeah, he's coming in.
Is he bringing samples?
He
sampling?
is. I think he's bringing
Because
a sample.
that's kind of
Said
rude if
sample.
he doesn't.
But this guy is a savant, man, when it comes to wines. Like he basically is the wine buyer for the whole chain.
Sapor is delicious.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And they got Sapor, and then they got
Bottega,
which
yeah.
is all like in the multiple locations.
Yeah,
of that
I think they've
across.
got
phenomenal.
there's like 5 or 6
There's one
locations
in
now.
the Highlands area. They're out in Sherwood Park, I believe. I think St. Albert.
Yeah. And they're opening
There's
one on
on
White.
Are they
Nice.
on one? They're on
They're supposed to be opening up on
104,
White,
or they?
yeah.
I don't know if that one's still there.
Yeah.
There's one on 104
Like
and
the cook-
124th and
their-
stuff.
Their head chef or the main guy, Lino, is
amazing food.
And he's Portuguese taught from his mom. He said, like he hasn't been formally taught, and he said he just learned from his mom because she would always make these foods, and it's all comfort food. And I was like, wow, come on, dude, that's amazing. And
Delicious.
So that should be a pretty fun talk.
Good wine pairings for Thanksgiving.
Hey,
Yeah, and heading into the
That's-
fall, right?
yeah.
Because now it's going to be a little cooler. Maybe you drink some different vino, and yeah.
No wonder people fall asleep at Thanksgiving. Wine and turkey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys have big Thanksgiving or?
I'll be with families on Sunday. Yeah.
Did not know it was Thanksgiving weekend.
You did not?
No idea. Do we have Monday off?
Yes.
Awesome.
Thanks
Okay.
for reading my schedule.
Thanks.
I always read your schedule.
It says the Monday's off.
I
it's a holiday,
glossed
bro.
over
It's
it.
even like I even specially like highlighted the days off now. It says Thanksgiving in like
You're gonna
red.
get paid a stat for not being there.
Awesome. That's
Not being here.
fantastic.
We at the Dhariwal house years ago we started deep frying turkeys.
Oh, I
Delicious.
started doing that.
So good.
That's risky.
Succulent.
It is succulent.
Like you have to be very careful doing it.
Yeah,
right?
go
Like, 'cause
out
you go
into the
outside
yard.
and you've got
Yeah,
to
you
like
gotta drop it
slowly.
Yeah, don't do it on your driveway or in the garage or anything like that. But I mean, it's kind of foolproof. You just have to
Well, I've
whatever
seen
your
a lot
bird
of
is.
TikToks that say that it's not foolproof.
Yeah, I think there's alcohol involved for a lot of those folks. But
I've
essentially,
seen that go wrong many times.
essentially say you get a 7 kilogram bird or 10-pound bird or whatever, and then you just pour water into your tank and then you pour the turkey in to see how much displacement you need, and then that's the level you put your oil to, and then you bring it up to speed, 375 or 400, and I think it's 3 minutes per pound.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and then
Things like that.
just keep an eye on it, have a few pops, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that,
Like
that,
the
that does
crispy
look
outside,
amazing.
the crispy
It does look
outside
delicious.
is a game
Are
changer.
you a turkey person, Tommy?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
No, turkey's delicious. And then turkey's
Tom's a
amazing
salad guy.
initially. And then everything you get afterwards with the turkey, like turkey sandwiches. With
Yeah.
It is one of the most elite foods for leftovers.
Okay.
Morley talking about something today this morning on the way here. He was talking about some sort of sandwich that you make, but Stacy was joking around and said some viewers some listener texted and called the sandwich a widowmaker because it's like a piece of bread soaked with the gravy and you throw the turkey in there and some bacon and
Too much.
This is heavy.
That seems like a little much. but,
Okay.
It sounded like a Ross Geller sandwich from Friends.
With turkey, I know we only have a couple minutes here. With turkey, like I've had the deep fried turkey.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. You got to be so careful with it because that boiling water.
boiling oil. Yeah. Don't
But
tip it
like,
over.
I love turkey meat in cold cut form. I had a great turkey sandwich yesterday. I love that. But
Yeah.
just like celebrations and occasion turkey, Christmas, Thanksgiving, I don't want it. I go to the
a
ham.
little
I go to
overkill,
the
yeah.
roast
Give me
beef.
that. Throw some
Yeah.
cranberries on it. Delicious.
And like
I don't need
just-
the gravy
I don't
for it. Just
like
give me
it.
the
I don't
cranberries.
like it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it.
I've tried. I haven't made the brisket, but one Christmas or one Thanksgiving, I got this. I forget the name of them. They're on Instagram, but they're an Edmonton caterer, and they work out of the Masons Church downtown, which is not far from the Journal Building. Just like
Yeah, it's like 100th Ave or whatever. Yeah, I know which one.
It's like a block and a half west, and so I ordered I think Ryan Ford, like the MMA guy, fighter, he was paired up with this company that barbecues. And so I'm like, okay, I got to try this. And I got a turkey and a brisket. Man, there was leftovers for until Christmas, I think. But anyway, I pull up to the alley and then he brings the trays out. And there's this big chunk of meat that it was a brisket, and I was like, wow, that thing looks crazy. And you just slice that bad boy up, throw some gravy on it.
Delicious.
Good night, Irene.
As we head out,
Good night, Jim Kate.
Smoked brisket cheesesteak, Century Casino tonight, Thursday Night Football. You could join Lieutenant Eric for the 49ers and the Seahawks. I'll be back at Century Casino on Saturday for the Elks.
Yeah.
The Green and Gold kickoff postgame shows myself and Jay Milne. 3 to 6 today. Reed Wilkins show, Jay Milne, but also Radioactive on CBC Radio.
Yeah.
Min going to be
Reed,
on as well.
Dhariwal head to head. Wilkins Dhariwal head to head.
Worlds colliding.
Wilkie probably a little more sports, but we're just maybe a little more well-rounded, and we'll get some culture.
Min, thanks for coming in. It was
Guys,
great having
a
you
pleasure.
again.
Yeah, I'll get a mug out of this. How can I
Yeah.
go wrong? I get to keep it, right?
Well, you could take this one. It's
Okay.
the logoing's better than this one. Say
That is a solid mug. Are you guys selling those to viewers or listeners? Or
We did
did.
for last year and stuff. So
yeah,
we're pretty much out.
How big is the swag section for this
15.
place?
Well, we
that's
got a new
Maddie's
pop-up
baby.
store coming up in the coming weeks here.
Finally.
Up next here on Edmonton Sports Talk, it is the Lock Shop, Dusty and Huss. At noon, it is 2 guys and a goalie. Then we got EST Afternoons, Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. Those are coming up with 2 more chances to qualify for the EST flyaway to Los Angeles. Thanks for tuning in to the Hangout on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. On behalf of Tommy Min, Matt, thanks again for tuning in. Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go.
There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today